Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's another Saturday night. Oh, I was almost late. I was over on Bucks Live. What's going on, everybody? Looks like we got First Responder. Great to see you, man. Always good to see you. Twisted Mopar Garage. Great to see you, man. And Robbie. Always look forward to seeing you every week, man. So, what's everybody been up to? Auto Salvage. There you are. Good to see you, man. This week I was out in the back digging around, cleaning up weeds and cockerels and all that stuff, and bent over and that'll be dadgum. That stuck me right and almost went up my nose, one of them sticker bushes. Wild rose bushes. Me and them have just got a love-hate relationship that I just cannot get around. Hey, Sam, what's going on? White Trash Motorsports, the ultimate sleeper. And that color's looking pretty good. It should not too bad, man. Yeah, so I got a video coming out. It's gonna show you a little bit of my backstash and some of the secrets of the S10 chassis. And some of my experiences with them and stuff. In fact, it's about done loaded now. I'm going to break a rule on it. Right after this live is over with, I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to stick it out way late. I'm going to kind of experimenting around and seeing what it does when I just totally break my rhythm. Because I already broke it anyway, so let's deep dive and see how bad you can run a channel. Hey, Breezies, what's going on, man? And I finally got the 58 all cleaned up. I've been out there digging and scraping and cleaning all that nasty grease and grime off of it. I kid you not, it's about, or was about that thick everywhere underneath that car. I finally got it all dug out. I started that project off and I was weighing how much it would actually weigh, all the grease, grime, and dirt under there. And I was scooping it up into my dustpan and I was weighing it. And I got up to, I think it was 56.5 pounds, and I gave up. There was probably 100 pounds worth of dirt, grease, grime, nasty under that car. Running late? I'm always running late. And have no fear, the Dougster's here. Great to see you, man. Scarlett, always great to see you. And we got Sidewinder. That was a pretty fun live we had last week. That was just a kind of a hangout, just let it all ride live. I really enjoyed that, man. Thanks for coming in. You and Sawyer's Diesel, two great channels. Go check those two guys out. So, what's everybody else been up to this week? Oh, I think I forgot to post the dadgum link. You see, I'll tell you what, if you want to learn how to kill a channel in 6 months or less, I'll give you all the advice on how to screw this up. There we go. We got her posted now. Now I got it over here on this monitor, so hit the dots and pin it on up there. All right, we got her rolling now. Hey, Tony, what's going on? Yeah, I went back and I rewatched your live. Not bad, man. Not bad at all. I came in way late on it. But man, there is just Of all the V8s out there, I just love the sound of an FE. They have a distinct sound. The only one that I like better is the sound of a Y block. And it's real close to an FE sound. They they got just a sound all to themselves. 390, even the 360 with headers on it, they just sound good. I think the rear main seal in that 58 went out in 1959, and it was just under a continuous oil change ever since then. Oh, those old rope seals. And it's the same design as the FE. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but the rear main has got the deep saddle that slides down in. So you got the sides you got to seal, plus you got the rope seal in there that you got to seal on them. They're kind of a pain. And the bad thing about a rope seal is if you're not running them all the time, you let them sit for about 6 months, that rope will start to dry out and it'll leak again. And once oil passes through it, it just keeps going. It just extenuates the problem until it's just puking out there. No problem, Sidewinder. You're welcome anytime. It's much easier if I let other people just babble. Otherwise, all you do is you just hear me babbling. I have a tub of undercoating scrapings in the garage to weigh it. Has some weight to it. That it does. That it does. It looks like it's, fruitless. Why would you do that? Why would you scrape all that stuff off? But you add that stuff up and it comes up to some serious weight. Weight that you would never even think about. Rob's Rods and Streetcars. Welcome to the 500 Club, man. Good to see you made it, man. I love to see you guys cross over that 500 mark. And when you do it live, it's just, I'm just as excited as you guys are for that. I haven't had a chance yet. Like I said, I was out filming most of the day. Trying to get caught up on some video. Like I said, I'm sorry, guys. I have dropped the ball. So now I'm on ketchup mode. Time to throw the tomatoes in the basket because it's time for ketchup. I love the sound of the CV750. Nothing else sounds like it. And the sound is, that's kind of the first impression because you hear it before you see it. And I I don't know if it's because of my age or whatever, but you could always tell who it was just when they pull up. And still to this day, there's a bunch of cars out, as they're going by. I don't even have to look out the window. I know exactly who it is. I love that. On the FEs, I fill the side seals with right stuff and pitch those stupid inserts. I've been 3 hours chasing a dang brake caliper. Oh, chasing parts? trying to get the right one. Oh, that's right. I remember. Yeah. Yeah. this the sore spot brake job. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, good luck, man. Let's see, get caught back up here. I remember doing your live when you got your 500. Yeah, I remember that. Oh wow, what a what a rigmarole that was. YouTube was just beating the living snot out of me. I'd go up to I was almost 490, 480, 480 something. And John texted me and said, "Hey, tomorrow let's do a live and push you over." I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." I woke up that morning and they stuck me back to 420. At the time, I was doing engine size shout outs. So when it come up time, like 428, okay, and then I'd watch it. Okay, this guy got number 428, so I do a shout out for him. Said, "Hey, this is my 428 Cobra Jet subscriber. Hey, thanks a lot." That kind of stuff. I must have done 4 shout outs for 460 because YouTube would keep boom put me back to 420 of all numbers. 61 bullet. Is it legal to ship that red sauce north of the border? I don't know. Because I know I need a whole lot of that ketchup. Oh, Barrel's got some 4-piston Kelsey Hayes calipers for rebuild if you can use with Tony. I can't use them. Yeah, it's just a Chevy mid-size caliper too. O'Reilly's had one, but the stupid thing was damaged. Oh, yeah. Did you find that out after you got it on and the piston seized up to it? I won't tell you how I know that. I hope you got it all figured out there, though, Tony. I know that whole project is uh, doing what you don't want to do, but doing for what you got to do. Good job, man. Let's see. Oh, the chat skipped here. Let's see. Just come back. Every summer, a white with red stripe, 81 Mustang cruises by my house many times a day. It has a gear timing set in it. I know it's him wherever I am in the year. Oh, a gear to gear. Those little Windsors, they just got to sound all of themselves too. Tell you the truth, I'm not really don't really like the sound of a 302. They're great motors though. They're an absolute great motor. I just never really liked the way they sound. They're a little higher pitched. I think it's because of the microscopic exhaust ports on the 302. They just they got that higher pitch to them. I got my guitar tuner. I should go out there, clamp it onto the exhaust, and see what exactly what key it's in. That's a good idea for a video. I, I got a steel crank and I got a cast crank sitting out in the shop. I should set that tuner up there and find out what note a steel crank hits at. That boing ring to them. Sounds like a C sharp, but my ears are totally gone now. That's why I got a guitar tuner, because my ears, yeah. Had a Pete Jackson gear drive in my 85 347 stroker. Sounds good. Yeah, they got that little whine to them. I kind of like it because I know they're a draw, but I mean, it's gear to gear. There's no chain stretch, you know. But that dog bone idler that rides in there, yeah, she makes some pretty good noise. Hey, Justin, good to see you. Well, like I said, I got the link up there, and it's just another casual, easy going, open mic night. That they do. You can tell the difference between an SO and an HO. Easy, easy. And boy, a whole lot of SOs were sold as HOs. I got proof of that sitting out in the shop. The guy that owns that Jeep out there, he bought that, and it says HO on it. Yeah, it's not an HO. The plenum, shoots off the wrong side. But the cover plate on top of uh, the upper plenum, yeah, that it's just held on with two screws. You take that off, and you can bolt an SO or an HO one right in its place. And that's what had happened. Somebody had just switched the emblems up on the top plenum, sold it to him as an HO. Yeah, and a lot of people fall for that. It's like the difference between a 360 and a 390. Good Lord, they sold more 390s than were ever built, because most of them were 360s. And those, the only way you can really tell is to stick a soda straw down the cylinder and roll it over and check the stroke on them. There is a little tag that hangs off of it's up on the distributor or the coil uh, hold down boss. There's a little tag that hangs off of there that'll say if it's a 390 or a 360, but just like that HO plate that goes on the top of the plenum on those, all you got to do is take that tag off and put another one on it, and whammo, you got a 390, right? You can charge an extra $200-300 for that. It does too. It kind of has a supercharger whine to them. Do I have to pull the column to get the dash out? Stripping a 62 T-Bird. Cousin Mike could be the better one to ask on that. Are you pulling the whole dash out of it? If you're pulling the whole dash, yeah. Yeah, you do. Undo it at the knuckle, the slider, because on those, the steering wheel slides off to the side. But that's the whole entire dash. I'm trying to remember if those are bolt in or not. Good Lord, it's been a while. Cousin Mike of Landing Custom Classics can tell you for sure, though. And yeah, there's not a dropout plate on the bottom of the dash. I remember, good Lord, I gotta brush up. You got me to thinking on that one. Yeah, that's a sure way to do it. Just run the firing order. Or if it's an older one and you can still see the firing order stamped in the intake manifold, yeah, that would tell you too. Yeah, ASO's got her there. If I remember right, those are rag jointed too, so it's not like pulling anything in all the others. They're not a solid shaft straight into the box. Because they slide off to the side. The plate comes off and they switch the upper intake 180 degrees. Yeah. That it does. And and the Chevys that switch the firing order, yeah, it stopped sounding like a small block Chevy then. That cam that switches your firing order around. I've never run one of them though. Of course, most of the stuff we do is just, it's not hardcore performance at all. It's asphalt warrior stuff. I've heard that. Was that why Chevy with the 235 even way back, they put a fiber wheel in them? It's still gear to gear, as Ari knows. That's what went out on his beautiful truck. I think that's why Chevy did that. They went to that. It wasn't plastic back then. It was made out of, I don't know, looked like beeswax or something. But I think it was for harmonics under a constant hard RPM. Yeah, I think we've all learned that one the hard way. And for some reason, I always screw it up on Volkswagen. Why? There's only four, two on this side and two on this side. And the distributor's right there in front of me. I missed out on getting my saw. They closed up. I'll have to try again tomorrow. Around here on Sundays, they pretty much roll up the sidewalks and shut the street lights off on Sundays. Yeah, there you go, Sire. That's exactly right. And they sound a whole lot different. Hey, everything horsepower. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I've seen the same results and everything, and I don't know. For one, it costs more money, and uh, playing with the cams as it is, you start flirting with that danger zone a little bit. Yeah, it's best just to leave it the way they designed it, in my opinion, for longevity. Hey, JV's little shop, what's going on, man? I broke down today, and I got a totally different video coming out. It's actually on the S10, and yeah, I kind of show you around in all my up and coming projects. Those little S10s. I kind of have a plethora of them. If anybody needs S10 sheet metal, just look me up. Some of them got titles, some of them don't. But if you need sheet metal, let me know. I use the chassis out of them. That's what I call the golden chassis. That chassis will fit under anything. Well, almost anything. Supposedly uh, the swap cams reduce harmonics, but it's hard to prove. I guess if you were looking for every little stinking smidge of performance, maybe. But that's a level of the game that, oh, I will never be at. That's when you start getting up into what Redbeard's into. Good Lord. He spends more on one piston for Venom than I do on a whole car. Yeah, like I said, I got the link up there if anybody wants to pop on in. Anyway, that's what my new video is about. It's about chassis swapping with the S10s. And not all S10s are created equal. There's pros and there's cons with the two of them because they come in two different varieties. But they both they both work really well, just depending on which way you go with them. The two varieties are two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive. The two-wheel drives fit really good in the earlier ones, and the four-wheel drives on up. The original, what people call the square body S10s, the first gen. The difference is the track width. The four-wheel drives are 2.5 inches wider. The four-wheel drives, 2.5 inches wider than the two-wheel drives. Hey, Sire, what's going on, man?
Not much. You enjoying your Sunday?
Oh, yeah. Got a cup of coffee right here. Got all my friends on YouTube. You betcha. What more could you like?
Don't need to go out to the bar to hang out with the gang anymore. You can just do it right here.
Yeah. And I heard anymore the bars are charging like $1 for a cup of coffee. Yeah.
God, up here they charge almost $4 for just a simple cup of coffee nowadays.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah, I swear it's Juan Valdez and the Colombian mob that's charging us these rates. But if we don't pay, the mule will come visit us. So. Oh Lord! I lost my marbles. Don't mind me.
Oh, now there's a tall order. An S10 manual steering box. I have dealt with many S10s, many of them, and none of them have had a manual box in it. Even the Durango one.
Yeah.
That was like the cheapest one that they made.
Just take the lines off of it, and there's your manual.
Squirt all the fluid out of it, and there you go.
That's right.
Manual
Get
box.
all the fluid out of it, and you're fine. There you go.
The only thing that'll wear out is the what's that called?
You'll get
the valve inside of it, but you don't use that anyway.
Nope. Well, it will literally last just as long as anything else. So, it's like that. That's the thing. It's only strong arm when you're fighting against fluid. But if there's no fluid in there, it's free. It's freewheeling. So. Doesn't look as nice, but hey.
Yeah, they're a little heavier. Oh, and don't plug the holes.
Yeah, don't plug the holes.
You got to let air freely go between them. Good Lord, that was an old trick. Pump all the fluid out of them, and then you run a hose from one to the other. Just a little rubber line, because you're just passing air after that. And then just drive it.
Found my marbles. Yay!
Whoa!
I found them finally. Peter. I just need some little teddy bear ears running around.
Got to be careful with that. You'll end up finding a nearsighted gynecologist too.
I thought you said you were a proctologist. That's the wrong holster.
I love that movie. Robin Williams was just, he was the master of improv.
Oh, yeah. No, he was. That's the thing, is we seem to have lost all the greats. Now we just have a bunch of imitators.
You got Tim Hortons up by you?
It's the closest Tim Hortons is about half an hour away. But I don't like their coffee because their cremo is yellow in color. I think there's MSG in it. It's very addictive.
Whew. MSG. I haven't heard. What was that called? Accent salt. That's what
Yeah.
it was down here. Boy, and they
No,
put that on everything. I don't know what was in it. Probably cocaine.
No, something about Tim Hortons coffee. It's addictive. It's little like smoking. Second you start drinking it, you can't stop. And every time you drink a different brand of coffee, it's like, yeah, it doesn't work. No. No, that's why I drink my K cup. I like my K cups, 25 cents a cup of coffee. And I buy my own paper cups in bulk. I'm not allowed to have coffee mugs anymore because I think in my lifetime I've lost maybe about $500,000 worth of coffee mugs.
And thermoses. Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know how many I've run over, dropped on concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Then you pick up your coffee and it sounds like it's full of ice.
Yeah.
It does the maraca.
Oh yeah, the good old fashioned thermos industrial steel lunchbox with the big old tank of a thermos. Then you also have the little stubby thermos for your soup. I miss those days. Those are good days. No.
I've got one of those old originals still that I don't bring it out anymore though. I'm afraid of hurting it. It was my grandpa's old Stanley, the old Stanley green one.
Yeah.
It's been run over by tractors. It was fully planted. It didn't grow anything, but it was planted.
Yeah. Well, when I was living in out in Alberta, and when I started working with my father before he bought the garbage company, my stepmother and grandmother would always wake up an hour before us, make our lunches, have everything ready. We'd have hot soup for winter and stuff like that. And then when we left the farm, that's when we started eating out for lunch every day. It's like, well, Grandma's still out there in Alberta, and well, Rita's in the office doing the accounting now, so who's going to make us lunch? There's a greasy spoon 15 minutes away. Let's go. We were pampered that way. Everyone that you had to wake up and go do something in the morning. They always got a damn good lunch and a breakfast. Like when I was growing up, every morning, like we'd only have cereal if we wanted cereal. Other than that, it was bacon and eggs and hash browns or potato pancakes or something. I don't feel like gaining 20 pounds this morning. Just give me the cornflakes. Stop making me fat, okay? Grandma, stop it.
Load you up on carbs and run all day.
Yep.
When I was guiding, did a lot of guide hunts when I lived over in Boise. And for like the week before, oh Lord, I would stockpile on carbs like that, like no tomorrow.
So I've been noticing something with a lot of these mechanics for the recessed spark plugs for doing compression tests. They're using the snap-on rubber lines and just the rubber line extensions. Why aren't they using the steel line? They make 3 different steel lines, but you can also use a brake line too. The brake line thread, the 3/8 brake line threads right onto your fitting.
Threads in.
Yeah. But that's the thing is like they're getting them stuck in there. Like Fluffy had got one stuck. Everyone's been they wind them in there and then they're trying to twist them on and it starts to rip the rubber on it. It's like they make steel ones for straight in. So those round ones were for when Ford and Chevy started hiding their spark plug holes. So when you had to stretch down and you didn't tighten them, you tightened them by hand, not with a guard down. Let's give me the impact. There,
just barely it just has to seal is all. Yeah.
And that's why the kits always come with a little bag of O-rings so you can change them every time.
The hard ones are the push-in ones, the ones you got to push in and hold.
Oh, yeah, those rubber ones. I've actually had a couple of those rubber ones get jammed in me because there's a little bit of burr in the hole, and the steel pipe came right out. And it's like, okay, this could be fun. So all you do is you just take a drill bit and sit there and start putting an oversized drill bit there to get it spinning till it melts and pops out. No, but no, that's the things like I mentioned on fluffies. Well, why aren't you guys using hard tube extensions? I've never seen one. Huh?
Wow.
You've never seen a hard tube extension.
Mine's an older one, but yeah, it is.
Yeah. Where am I at? I'm up in Canada, and we always like to say, hey, I'm sorry, eh? Yeah, eh? And, I'm sorry, eh?
That Canada is just like us, though. That accent is, you don't hear it all the time.
No. It's kind of funny when I'm getting stressed, I get a little bit of a Scottish and Welsh kind of cross because of my grandma's side of the family. But when I'm playful, I start going native / African from my mother's side of the family. It's like people are going, how many accents do you have? I don't know. I was sitting there thinking yesterday. I actually got something. I did a stream a while ago, and I just do it naturally because I grew up because I've got Aboriginal people in my family, and every time I see them, I'm always like, "Hey, so how's it going? I was wondering if you wanted to go out back, eh?" You can't talk like that. That's right. Huh? Okay, fine. How do you want me to talk? Next, people are going to complain about me talking like an old German scientist. We are going to play a game today. I'm going to tie you to this chair. I'm going to ask you questions. And every time you answer, I'm going to tell you you're lying. Even if you tell the truth, I'm not going to believe you. So I can hit you and go. No.
Here,
so how many times have
you... I got to check for spark.
So how many times in your life have you had to go over to a friend or a young kid that just bought a carbureted car and he went to do the distributor and himself and he dropped it in 90 degrees out?
Oh yeah, all the time. That is so common.
Well, it's even become more common because there's a lot of people now that are wanting to buy old carbureted engines for the muscle car thing, and it's picking up again, that fad. And they're like thinking, well, I did my ignition coils in my car. All you did is plug and play. So if I just take them, here it is. It's set in. So that's all you need to do.
Have you done it the lazy way, though? You just stick your thumb over number one, you roll it up on compression stroke, you pop the cap, and okay, there's number one. And then you just reset them.
Yeah.
Because
the only time I pull it out is, the only time I pull it out is if I'm concerned that it's not seated for the oil pump properly. No, but that's usually all you need to do is just lift her up a little bit, swing her over 90 degrees, drop her in, and then you can just literally start it up and adjust it by sound and go, yeah, that sounds good right there.
Because, oh, Lord, if you pull it out and you hear the dreaded clunk, especially in a Ford.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to get the pan down so you can reach in there and fish that distributor drive shaft back out of the oil pan. Yeah.
Just drill a hole in it. We'll weld it up later. I got some PL 400 and some JB weld. We'll fix that right. What's the biggest hole saw you got there, Buck? I got a 6-inch over. We'll weld that patch back in.
Give me the spade bit. This is a little bigger.
And so it's like, I don't think mechanics are brave enough anymore to use the screwdriver as the spark tester. So.
Hey, Redbeard, what's going on, man?
Oh, just living the dream.
You got your dad with you?
No, not today. Old Ford guy's too busy. He's the one that told me this was going on, so I decided to jump on you real quick. Heard you talking crap about my Pistons.
Ooh, no, you. Good Lord, I had no idea they cost that much. Wow.
Well, some do. I mean, like you get cheap ones, obviously, but to get them coated and the big wrist pins and the buttons in the end of the wrist and the end of the wrist pins instead of the, it all costs a lot.
Yeah.
So
if you're going to play at that level, wow. Yeah.
It's not really all that necessary. It's just like putting a bigger fuse in your electrical box just to hope it, it's going to pop. But you're trying to make it last just a little bit longer. I actually had a pretty good score. I haven't put any videos of it, but I finished picking up. I bought a guy out of all of his Mopar stuff
and stuff.
Yeah, I just actually got back not too long ago, and see if I can switch this camera around here for you guys. Oh, I turned it off. Let's see. Settings, camera. Let's see, camera. Face. Right? Yeah, okay. Here's one engine.
There she goes. Hot diggity.
I got that one. I got 3 other ones. This is just a stock block, stock rotating assembly. This is a Stroker 383, and that one's a Stroker 400. That's a 500 cubic inch over there. It's just, I got to assemble all of them or do something. Wow. I bought them out to hopefully make some money so I can finish my car. I kind of want to keep this one. Venom is very slow. Let's put it that way, guys. I haven't put a video up, but I took the oil pan off, checked the bearings, and everything looked great. And I look up on my, just started looking at my cam bearings, and it just look at, and I look over, and when my cam loads get ate up by a lifter.
Oh no!
Yeah, the cam's going to be reground and some other stuff. But then I have a buddy. He really wants that engine real bad. He's trying to trade me out. I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to do it or not. But if I trade the engines, it's going to be it'll be a pleasant surprise. You guys will like it. So, but if anybody needs any 400 blocks or 400 stroker engines, short blocks, or a complete stroker engine, holler at me. They're concreted, so they pretty much race only. So, but they're not the stock blocks, but the 2 stroker motors they're concreted. So, but there it is. Nice hauler. Thank you, John. I can't see anyone else's comments, so when I'm on my phone, I can't see comments. So, Mr. Beard, hey.
You caught up here.
I just started looking at it. I didn't know how many people are on this thing.
Looks like we got 19 so far.
19, good. That's a good thing. What's going on?
Hey, Shop Cat.
Hey, y'all want to see something my wife hates?
Oh, I bought this. I always like to see that.
I bought something that she wasn't very happy about it, but a funny story. I mean, is there any kids on here? Hope not. As I'm buying this thing, so let me see if I can. Here, this is my cock named Fred.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I'm 6'2".
Holy cow! Holy cow!
And no 2-hack, you can't have it. So
I was just gonna say, is that one got Jeff's name on it?
Yeah. Yes, I do have it.
Find you. Just drive down the road to the cock.
So, funny story. There's a citywide garage sale in this town I live in, and they had a couple of these. And a guy I work with, he's 63 years old. Yes, good job. Congratulations, bud. I was I was sitting there, I was baiting behind, and I decided to buy it, and I'm carrying this big ass cock in my hands, and it's, I'm carrying this in my truck, and he goes, "Hey!" I turn around to the guy I work with. He's 60 years old. He's funny as hell, and he says, "What are you doing?" Instantly, I turn around. I see who it is. I was like, "My wife said she wanted a bigger cock," and they lost it.
Well, the
Now,
other
my dad's not
one,
gonna be proud of me. Oh, Dad, I apologize. I know
Bro.
that raised me up like, but it was still funny. So, and no, it's taller than my wife by a foot. So,
Yeah, Jeff is 6'2" with enough metric conversions.
oh, so I got y'all remember Tall John? I haven't seen him on any of these in a long time, like me and stuff.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Tall John is Tall John.
I heard he's like 7.
That guy. I look up, he's 6'9" or 11. I'm looking like I wasn't expecting that. I go into Jed's garage about 11 o'clock at night. I show up late to go help him build that 340 and a little bit just hang out. And I look at him. I'm doing this. I said, I'm not tall, but I'm a little above average. I said, I don't look at too many people like this tall. I'm not joking. Like, I am just like fathom how big that guy is. So if y'all ever get to meet him, he's tall. But, sorry for interrupting your live like this.
Oh no, never interrupted, man.
So what were y'all talking about before I got in here? So I can maybe just listen to y'all talk now and keep my mouth shut.
Babbling,
rambling. same stuff that we used to do at the bar at the table, except for we're sober.
Not the same thing.
I tell you a joke with my wife, but I'm not drunk enough yet. So
yeah, my wife's not tall enough to get on the bar stool, so she wouldn't get it. My wife's 4'9", 4 foot. That's giving her some. But what is our? Try to go to his chats. Yes, I do have a stock bore. It's got the crank rods and pistons still in on that stock 400 block. To the guy, I've never seen it pop up. And if you need to get a hold of me, Facebook me, or I don't want to give my number on here, but so. But I need to my bank is so. I have zero credit. Never on a credit card in my life. Yeah. Give me a call. No, I bet he's talking like Pontiac. He's a Pontiac guy. It's a Mopar 400, not a Pontiac.
No, Tony is Mopar.
Oh, wait a second. I thought he was. Oh, wrong person. My bad. I apologize. Wrong person. But no, I got plenty of them. I got 3 of them now. 4 of them. So some are strokered, some are stock. I got a stroker. Like I said, I was getting at the point. I never owned a credit card in my life. I have zero credit, but I have credit through my small town banks, and they'll give me kind of whatever I want. And like I have like this. They said, "What do you need?" I said a certain amount, and high amount. What are you buying? I said a whole bunch of engines, resale, and this and that. They said, "Come get it." I'm like, okay, this could get me in trouble, but
I just small towns for that.
I do love the small town atmosphere and stuff. Like it's pretty nice. Yeah. But I've been spending all my car money on. We bought a house that's a fixer upper. I mean, it's a newer house, but just kind of get my number for John Wilburn. Okay. John, you can send him mine too if you want to, if you're still on this live. So you just give me a holler. Anyway, so what's going on, everyone? I'm trying to get all my stuff done so we get this thing together for No Name Nationals and stuff. But if they can't regrind my cam, they're 14 weeks out on a camshaft.
Really? 14 weeks?
Well, the reason is now everyone thinks, no, there's no way. Well, here's the thing is about my engine. My engine it's a wedge block. Okay, so it's a wedge lifter valley with a Hemi ground cam, and it's a 55 millimeter. So everything about that is odd. A normal is a 54, 60 millimeter, and being a Hemi ground with a wedge degree lifter valley, it's a very rare it's not okay, not rare. It's just very uncommon. So yeah, and so they bullets 14 weeks out. I called even Indy. They thought they had one. They had one for a Hemi block for predator heads. It's just kind of a nightmare. So I'm kind of stuck on that. And my engine builder really doesn't want to he doesn't want to order pistons until he has a cam for sure. And so to check, they can get you close with the valve, how deep they are, what clearance you need, and stuff for your piston valve clearance, but he doesn't like to do it that way.
So if you have to go with another motor, is it going to be a little bit more conventional, a little easier to get parts for?
If I can sell all these other engines, I'm going to keep that other 400. And I'll put that 400 on there and just put nitrous to it. But there's some. I tell you what, I've seen some. I haven't been able to. This night shift don't get to communicate with most people anymore and stuff. But I've seen a lot of people hopping their stuff up. Like there's gonna No Name's going to be a tight group of. There's going to be some tight group of cars, and I'm looking forward to it and stuff. But it's going to suck if everyone upstairs and I downgrade. That's not what I'm supposed to do.
I'm sure looking forward to seeing what James and James brings.
Yeah.
I mean Venom was impressive, buddy. Wow.
Yeah. For NA, and you know what? I could tell. I knew I was running my valves every pass, and I wasn't adjusting really anything. But every once in a while, I'd adjust that one, and I just replaced the valve springs on it because I broke a valve spring. I think it's the same lifter I broke the valve spring on, and I don't know for sure, but I got to look. I saw that. I was really upset. I put the oil pan back on. I started up, put it on the trailer, and haven't touched it since. But for NA motor, Venom ran good, but it was at No Name Nationals. Wasn't track prep or nothing like that. That was bad. It was all great. It was running about 3/10 to 2.5 tenths slower than what it normally does. So I have no idea why. I'm not saying it's a camshaft. I'm not saying that, but I got really lucky. Those guys' transmissions kind of got hurt because it would have been. I don't know if I got lucky. I don't know if I'd had them covered or not, but it would have been really close. Like it would have came down to who cut the lights best. I bet. Like that, it would have been a good races. And you know what? That's the funnest ones. I had more fun. I had more fun racing my 14-second or whatever 12-second the truck I had, racing against another 12-second car side by side every shift. It's like a movie. Bing, 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 bing. Like I've had more fun doing that than going fast. Believe it or not.
It's better to go fast in a slow car.
Yes.
Because you got.
See, honestly, that's kind of like I've enjoyed this. I did a no prep thing for the first time on an old airstrip, and I mean it was bad, but it was sketchy. But it was fun because it was like right there at the limit of uncontrol. Like you're on ice. That's what. It's not really fun when you're doing, but after you had that adrenaline rush, like wow, that was great and stuff. It's like okay, this is. But it's not when you wreck. It's not if you wreck. It's when you wreck.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. That's.
So being up here in Canada, what's this No Name Nationals all about? I've never heard of it before.
To me, go ahead, BareRose.
It's a meet and greet is what it is.
Exactly.
It's just a wide variety. You got big names, you got no names. That's what it's for, is all of us no name guys. And it all takes place at a drag strip with nothing but automotive creators. So, you get a bunch of us together, there's going to be some strip time going. But that's basically what it is. It's just a big hangout, great time, and we watch each other race.
It is the fun. Like, not even racing. I don't care if I would have won, lost. Didn't even have my car there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great. Just the conversations, the meeting people you watch on YouTube, and so like it kind of sucks. Like I haven't been able to do YouTube videos or watch really any YouTube stuff lately because night shift, and I don't know how people do this night shift thing. It's not meant for human beings, but. I just like it's so nice to meet people in their face and just talk to them. And every single person there, was more friendly even in person they were on the lives. Like it was the most enjoyable time I mean, I'd say top 10 experience of my life in a way. Like it was just, and I think it's only gonna get bigger and better from here.
And you get to meet the families, and it was just unbelievable. And you all sit down and have dinner together.
I didn't get that. I showed. I didn't get. I spent an hour and a half looking for my golf. My dad and I had a heck of a trip to get there. I broke my little bed cover on my truck. I was ticked about that. I didn't strap it down, and then halfway to No Name Netflix, so I'm mad about that, And then run behind anyways, and then my windshield flew off my golf cart. We turned around like 3 times on the interstate trying to find the doggone thing on the side of the road. It's a $250 windshield. I didn't know it came with the golf cart. When I looked it up, I'm like, I don't really care about it. I'm already late. Let's just go. And I decided to look it up while I'm driving, and I see how much it was. I'm like, yeah, we're turning around. And we literally pulled into Lambert, and everyone was kind of walking out. So, and then the next night, everyone went back. I was too busy changing my tires on my dad and I were up to like midnight changing the tires on my car, so we could race the next day. And this year, my dad and I are hoping to go a day early. I get down there the day early, and so we can just get everything set up. Tires already on the car, everything ready to go, and enjoy ourselves. That's my goal. So
I tell you, man, I had time in my life to spend the day with your dad.
Well, I guarantee you did too, then, because if I love my dad to death, and I'm older, I get more I'm like him in ways, and if we get a hold of somebody that'll listen to us and they'll talk back to us, you got a day worth of talk.
Oh, just great stories, just great. It's like this, but
yeah,
right in person.
So it'd be nice to be able to do something like that in Canada, but our content creators are so far and few between here. Trying to find a central location to do it all.
You're more than welcome. Come with us.
Got to cross the border. I can't cross the border for another 2 years.
Just hide in a potato sack. Tell them you're going to Idaho. They won't even notice. They just slip you right through.
I got Kathy griffined over a YouTube joke not Facebook joke that I made about Donald Trump.
Oh,
I got a 5-year ban from the United States over a friggin' joke that on Facebook went viral. Didn't go viral anywhere else, but on Facebook it got big enough that it somehow made it to the Trump office, and that Canadian can never come down here.
Are you kidding?
No,
I can't because I got a DUI on my record.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that was
an
clear
actual
back in 93.
You can't go to Canada because you got a DUI.
Because that's a criminal offense up here. If you have anything that can be considered a criminal offense, you can't cross the border until it's cleared in the U.S. and off your record. Because drinking and driving up here is the same as attempted homicide. That's how we think of it. If you drink and drive, it can be punished by a pretty hefty jail sentence up here. But
sorry about that, guys. Don't yelling at me.
No,
and I've been sober since then. Wow.
Yeah.
It blew me away.
Well, that's the thing is you could if you can just get just get a letter from the court or something like that saying that it's expunged or anything like that, then you can come across. But that's why I tell anyone in the U.S. if you want to come to Canada for vacation, call the border first before driving to the border. Save yourself time because you might not be able to cross over stupid stuff. And like that's the same thing as we here in Canada, we have a hard time crossing the border because we did stupid stuff and our government won't let us out of our country. It's like, now you were too stupid. You go down there, no.
Well,
no.
I mean, realistically, why would anyone want to go to Canada when you're in America? Okay?
The Rocky Mountains, the grizzly bears, and the fresh air.
And I'm not going to say anything. Minnesota's close enough. I work with a whole bunch of guys from Minnesota, and some reason they hate Canadians. I cannot figure it out because there's a couple Canadians on their crew and stuff. And man, you talk about somebody riding somebody so hard. Like I cannot believe why Minnesota people hate Canadians so much. But
It's $100 now. The Harbor Freight needle scaler. Wow, I bought one. Well, it's been quite a while ago, and it was like $20.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's inflation, man. That's the thing. Is like Milwaukee. Like you just look at any tool, like the impacts, Milwaukee impacts. My half inch, I bought it originally for $329, brand spanking new, first day that it came on the shelf, and now it sells for like $450.
Yeah,
like, everything's going up and up. Like back in the day, you could buy the Walmart brand tools for $15-$16. They want almost $40-$50 for them now.
Let me tell you, some car parts haven't got any cheaper either. So,
nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's why I have a few Snap-on tools simply because somebody was on drugs. They sold it at the pawn shop, and I bought it from them. So, dude, you can find some really good deals at pawn stores sometimes on tools. And Snap-on tool, that's the only way. And I never wanted a Snap-on tool in my life. I always had Craftsman, thought they were the greatest thing in the world. And now I went to work for his machine shop, and I ended up getting this toolbox of the owner's son because he didn't cut it. And he decided to go do something else for the company. Where he had all Snap-on tools in there, and I was just, that's my toolbox. I got to use those tools. You don't know what a nice tool is till you run a Snap-on ratchet. That's got like 1,000 teeth per click. Like you get, with my crap, it goes like clunk, 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 clunk. That Snap-on like clunk. Like you get so much more done. Like I'm not gonna say all their tools are worth it, but if you buy one of their ratchets, it's worth their money in gold.
Yeah,
I just wish they would stand on their warranty like they used to.
Oh, they don't?
Now it's up to the truck.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, forget that. See, my cousin's a big guy.
Here, Snap-on, good Lord. Every year we got a different driver.
Well, I don't know if you around this more than I am, BareRose, but I was told the driver is the one covering all the money finances.
They
stuff.
are.
And
that comes out of their pocket. That's why a lot of them don't want to warranty it because
they get paid back, they get reimbursed for it, but they got to float it for a month to 2 months,
or longer.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That would be hard to do. Like that, you talk about the overhead as it start that thing up, the truck. That'd be. I don't know. Not for me. Well, guys, it's nice talking to everyone here and stuff. I really just want to jump on just to support your channel, and nice.
Thanks, man.
Congratulations on 3,000, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm still in this.
To all 3,000 of you guys. You guys blow me away every single day.
Well, you deserve it, brother. And well, y'all have a good night, and it's nice seeing y'all.
Say hi to your dad.
Nice meeting you, buddy.
I was thinking of him.
Oh, you guys have a good one.
Nice meeting you. Yeah, talk about ratchets with lots of teeth. 160 tooth.
Really? What is that one?
That's a Cobra, and it's made by Steelman Pro. All their premium ratchets are 160 tooth, and they are tough as beans. No, but they better be tough as beans because they're not small and they're not light. That's the 3/8.
The Harbor Freight one, Pittsburgh Pro, it's actually a high tooth count.
Yeah.
But a 3/8, only use it for a 3/8 stuff. Don't push it up. Don't over torque it because it will come apart on you.
Well, those gearless ratchets, I got a couple of them. They're really good. They're just not made for torquing on. They're made for in tight spaces, running bolts in, running bolts down. If you need to break anything, don't use a gearless wrench. A lot of people have been knocking the gearless wrenches going, oh, well, you can't put force on it. It's not made to break the bolt free. It's made to run it down faster. So
it's like an electric ratchet. Same thing. They're just made to drive it in or out. Speedy outs is all they are.
Yeah. But those
gearless.
But I tell you, those gearless ratchets, they are nice. Like this 162, it's got like next to no swing on it. But that gearless, every time you move it, you get like you just move it a millimeter, and you get like a movement. It's like wow.
SK, yeah, that's a good one.
No. I don't know. I still prefer the old SK tools over the new stuff, but I prefer a lot of the old tools.
That's all of it, though. But what I really look for in a tool is how I can get it warranted and how I can get it warranted now. Because when it breaks, I got to have it now.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing is like as long as the tool does the job right, gets it done, and you have a good warranty or a way of getting it taken care of, that's all that really matters. Like premium tools and having snap and all that stuff is not a necessity because the tool does not make the mechanic. The mechanic
exactly
makes the tool work. So, and a good mechanic can take any set of tools and get the job done. No. But that's the thing.
I remember going into Sears as a kid, and I bought my dad a set of they're just Craftsman. But back in the day, you know, Craftsman, it was kind of wasn't bottom shelf, but it wasn't exactly top shelf. Set of screwdrivers for Father's Day. It was back in probably 77.
Yeah.
To this day, he still has not all of them, but most of those screwdrivers in his toolbox.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Back in the good old days, they had Craftsman, then they had Craftsman Professional. There are two totally different lines of tools and made at two totally different places, two different qualities. And a lot of people would always buy the cheaper Craftsman because, it's the same tool. It's just less. No, it's not the same tool. Hey, well, this screwdriver, you can actually hit it with a hammer and it's not going to shatter on you. This one,
flat blade screwdriver, that's a chisel, right?
Yeah.
Pry bar, chisel.
Yeah. No.
But that's something my dad taught me right in the beginning is you buy small to build big.
Yeah.
Start with whatever you can afford and let those tools make you the money to pay for the more expensive tools as you go.
Well, I tell a lot of young techs that buy the tools that you can afford right now so you start working, and when those tools start breaking one by one, you just replace that one with like go one at a time, unless there's some sort of magical wicked super sale going on the truck. then you get a little excited, but that's the thing.
The days of the tool truck hold on the industry are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the 80s, early 90s, when everything started to have specialty tools, the only way you could get a scanner was off of a tool truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, those days are gone now. Now, the internet and places like Harbor Freight, they kicked the door open on that.
Yeah.
And it's helped because it has brought Snap-on tool prices. I know it's hard to imagine with their tool prices, but it has brought them down.
But the toolboxes have gone up to compensate for it. So we've got to compensate for our tool prices going down. Charge more for toolboxes. I was going to buy a Camaro this year, but I got a Snap-on box instead.
I got a screwdriver. And they never really liked me because I always paid cash in. Never did the in-truck financing.
Yeah. That's the thing is I refuse to mortgage my career or my like that's the thing is if unless it was an absolute necessity to get the job done and I had to have it, then I would dip into the credit to buy it. But most of the time I had enough cash to buy anything because I just kept banking. And I try to do, if I don't have the money in the bank, I don't need it. Unless it's like my hammer, my Hilti breaks and I got to have a new Hilti for that day, then I'll spend the money. But I don't just go out and go, oh, look, new tool, I'll just buy it anyways. Like I still got my old Lincoln 12-volt grease guns, for crying out loud. I want the new Milwaukees, but they're still working. They still work fine. The battery's still charged, so I don't need to replace them. Until they die and stop working on me, I won't have a Milwaukee grease gun. No.
But Harbor Freight, you got to really watch them. Like their Icon line. It's the same price as Tekken, and Tekken's still made in the USA.
Actually, we now know who makes the Icon tools.
Who?
Cornwell's cheap brand, Blue Power.
Because or whatever it's called.
Blue Power, yeah. The Blue Power tools. Because there's been a lot of packages, people have bought them, and they've been accidentally stamped with the Blue Power first, and then they stamp in the Icon over top of the Blue Power. So they're like, the Blue Power come off the line and they slide them over and run. Oh, 3 or 4 accidentally got in. No one will never notice, but now we know who's making Icon's tools. So been a lot of stuff coming out. No, Cornwell's cheap brand of Blue Powers are Icons officially. So now their secret's out of the bag.
And I learned a long time ago too that if you buy the cheap stuff, the cheap off-brand, always buy their top of the line, but never buy the bottom line of the major name brand. Because if you buy the top of the line of the cheap stuff, that's their flagship stuff. That's the stuff they don't make much money on.
Yeah.
If you buy the bottom line of the name brand ones, you're getting the cheap bottom of the barrel stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of like with up here in Canada with great tools. I'm going to tell people, don't buy the dynamic tools. They're not worth the penny that they're made out of right now. But because Great Tools has their premium line, which are Snap-on grade, Snap-on level, because they used to make tools for Snap-on. But their dynamic isn't worth the money that they're charging for them. They're charging almost premium dollar for a mid-grade tool. Wait for, like, if you want to get into dynamic tools, wait another year or two, because Great Tools is actually changing all their Taiwan manufacturers over to Spain and Italy right now. So
yeah, when you're working flat rate, I mean, it's all about get in, get out. You got to beat that clock.
No, that's the thing that's always drove me crazy. Why manufacturers make 2 different grades? We have our premium, and then we got our mid grade. Why not just make your premium in the middle, a price in the middle, and you'll get they'd make more money from selling their premium tool at a middle price than most people buying. Well, I'll buy 1 or 2 of the premium, and then I'll buy a couple of the mid grade stuff. Because even Snap-on has some mid grade brands. So.
Yeah, I think their bottom is Blue Point. I think that's Snap-on.
Yeah.
I get them confused. Dad had all of the trucks, Cornwall, Snap-on, Matco, Mac.
No.
I've pretty much always done flat rate. Even doing it myself now, I just flat rate everything.
That's the thing with me being older than that. I can't work as fast as I used to work, so I just charge the customer what the book says. Like, when I was younger, I could get that job done like this, but I like to take my time now. I don't like to rush, so it's probably going to take me 12 hours to do it, but the book says 4 hours, so I'm only going to charge you 4 hours.
And a lot of stuff that I do, sticking a 302 in a 84 CJ, you know.
Yeah.
There's no book on it.
No.
But I still flat rate it out to them, and I generally take a bath a lot.
Yeah.
Not the nice warm jet tub baths either. It is.
Oh, it's the Wizards have racing books.
That it is, boy. I really feel bad for the new technicians that are coming out, and they're called ever since they started calling it technicians. That's when it all transferred over. I feel sorry for those guys. A good friend of mine, he just graduated from Wyotech. He's got student loans like a doctor or a lawyer does, and a job that pays half as much as that.
Yeah.
Plus, then you got to buy all your tools, all of that stuff. I wish we could support the trades in the way that the trades used to be supported, but I see a trend happening there. They're taking student loan debt and applying it to the trades now. It's scary.
Well, I remember
So any of you new guys out there, I'm pulling for you, man.
In the good old days, I remember when both our governments used to give you grants. And if you started working and started using your tools and your education within a year after completing your education, you didn't have to pay that grant back, or you'd only had to pay like 15-20% of it back. Like that's the thing, is like our governments used to support people in the trades and people in the industry.
Yeah.
Because they used to realize it was the people in the trades and the industry that built the infrastructure that everyone else lives in.
Yeah, here we had the IJT, Idaho Job Training Program. It was a grant, and they would put you through trade school. You started as an apprentice. They give you a tool allotment on the grant, and if you completed it and you completed your apprenticeship, you paid back nothing. Yeah. But if you quit, then you had to pay for everything that you had acquired from there. So it was an incentive to get people to not only do it and get a head start, but to finish all the way through it. I wish they'd bring that stuff back, because experience is the biggest and best teacher. Even when you end up with fingers that, you can't straighten up no more. And, that I learned how to grab a hold of a chunk of cardboard after I dang near cut my finger off with cardboard.
Well, that's the one thing, like up here in Canada, like with our trades, we have to work X amount of hours in between the schoolwork. Like, for example, for my millwrights, I had to do a total of 9,000 hours of work before I could go for my red seal in total hours worked in the field, in the trade. My carpentry was 2,800 hours. Then I ended up going a little bit farther on my carpentry. I had to do another 2,000 hours on top of it for my constructions and that. But like all in all, like my to get my tickets that I had to work almost 1,200 hours total before I could have my tickets. But that's the thing, is up here in Canada, the difference about that is, if you want to open a shop up, or someone wants to open a shop, they have to have a red seal. If someone wants to start building houses, like a lot of builders let it slide nowadays, but in a lot of cases, you have to have a red seal person there on the site or at the shop to make sure everything's being done right. But a red seal used to actually guarantee you income no matter what. So, hello.
Hey, caller. Yeah, good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise, man. I was listening to the you guys talk about mechanics and getting into trades and stuff, and I just wanted to jump on here and add that I've been a mechanic for a living for 29 years, and then a little over a year ago I went to work at a muffler shop. But I've long said that at some point, there's going to be a shortage enough of mechanics that a good mechanic will make the same as a doctor. And I truly believe that's going to happen eventually.
And especially if you apply yourself and learn it. I mean, deep dive into it and learn everything you can about it.
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. You know, man, that's kind of my philosophy on life. You know, it's like,
yeah, that's what it's always been for us.
yeah, it's my whole life, man. It's been root, hog, or die. So that's all I learned how to root, you know.
I just hope enough younger people get into the trades and start getting good at it, so that way as older people can actually retire and stop work and not have to have that looming over our head. I'm gonna have to go back to work because no one can do it.
Well, you know what? If no one can do it, I promise you, my prices are going to go up. I don't mind selling out, but the price is always pretty high.
And you hit it right there too. If you're rolling in it and you get set up to enough where you get enough of your own tools and stuff, go off on your own. Be your own boss if you have to.
Well, I agree with that to an extent. I did that once, actually. I owned a body shop for a few years, and it was cool because we did a lot of restorations and actually specialized in Chevelles. I mean, there was a time when I knew more about Chevelles than probably anybody you'll ever meet, but I've forgotten most of it. But my biggest issue was hiring competent help. You know, it's like,
oh Lord, yeah.
Oh man, I had a guy call me one time. It's like we were doing a 55 Chevy frame off for a guy. And I mean, this was 15 years ago. You know, I've seen the car recently, and it's still gorgeous. But anyway, I needed the guy because we kind of had a deadline we had to meet, and he don't show up one day, and my phone rings. You know, well, it's Madison County Jail with a collect call, and I'm like, all right. You know? I answer. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. You know, and they say. You know, he's like, this is my guy. You know, this is my number one body man. He's an outstanding body man, but he was a complete drunk. You couldn't keep him sober, you know. But and actually, as a business owner, you know, I just kept him in the back and kept him working. And he would have beers like set over in the bed of a truck and drink him while he's working. But I'd just keep an eye on the work he was doing. As long as it was good, I let him think he was getting away with it. But anyway, the phone rings and I take it, and the first words out of his mouth is he says, "I'm in jail." And I said, "Really? How long you in for?" And he just lost his mind. He's like, "Oh, you got to come get me." Of course, I had to get the car done, so I gave in. But it was adult babysitting and just not for me. I don't have the temperament for that kind of stuff.
That's why my whole entire life,
show up ready to go.
I've been self-employed pretty much 90% of my life, and I've never taken on any job that I was not able to do myself. And like, I've built whole entire houses by myself. I've got wall jacks. I've got my means and my ways of getting it done. But that's the thing, is I don't like everything I do. Like now, my construction side, I've got good crews in that, but it took me a long time to get those crews built, and I have to treat them damn good to keep them. That's the thing. Once you get good employees, you give them every incentive to stay with you. You give them every excuse not to leave. Like they get half a day off on their birthday. They get a birthday bonus. Like I have so many little fringe benefits that I throw at them. I pay their medical coverage and stuff like that. I have an insurance policy for each of them, so they don't have to worry about that. It costs me money, but at the end, I'm making money because they're there every single day on time, like clockwork, working hard. And that's the one thing where a lot of companies are failing, is they treat their workers like literally slaves.
Well, like they're disposable. And that's the thing. It's always been for me. It's like respect. You know, it's like I tell people when I go to work for them, I do demand a little respect. You know, I've paid my dues. But, it's like when the employee-employer relationship is working correctly, the employee is paying the employer to be there.
Yeah.
But anyway, you guys were having that conversation, and I won't tell you. I just want to
great.
kick in my pants.
It's great
conversation.
Thing,
you don't have to leave if you don't want to. You can stick around, keep talking.
I'd be better off if I found my tripod and set it up, because frankly, I'm holding my phone out here, like this. I'm old and fat and out of shape, and my arm don't like it a whole lot.
Start to get to shake.
Well, rounds of shape. So,
Yeah, we're all YouTubers. We know that.
yeah, right.
I had to invest in a cam because if I hold a camera, it's like because my tremors start to act up. I actually when I used to make some videos when I used to do gaming stuff online here, and I'd have a little mobile camera and I'd be doing stuff. People would start asking me, why is the camera shuddering and shaking? Well, my arm's been out for 5 minutes and my tremors are starting to kick in, and I don't want to take my medication right now because I'll be on the ground.
Well, that take a video watching too. I'll tell you what, if I've learned anything about YouTube, it's that people will watch anything. And how I came to realize this was, like I say, I owned a body shop. I'm a pretty competent painter when I try. I mean, don't judge me on this last video that dropped and the next two coming. I'm gonna have people screaming, so it'll be outstanding. But anyway, I'm a competent painter. But I'm sitting on my couch one day, kicked back, watching YouTube. I'm watching this dude spray paint his truck with Rust-Oleum turbo cans, and I'm like, okay, because I'm watching it. I know how to do it the right way, and I don't know.
Some of the stuff you see on there is they go through so much work to try to save a buck that just costs them a buck. You pay more in the end result.
I don't know. I've done some pretty good Rust-Oleum jobs, but I've always used my spray guns.
Because you're in control of the mixture. When you're rattling the little marble around, you're at their mercy.
And not of that, I've also done proper prep before using it. But you can get an okay paint job. Just don't be like the guy that sold me the Chevy 12 years ago that he did with latex paint. Went to go pick up truck. Paint job. The paint job looked perfect. It looked nice. I'm driving down the highway and there's a little chip had hit the where the headlight bezel is, and as I'm driving down, the air started getting underneath it, and it started inflating like a balloon. I'm like, what the heck is what the? Seriously?
My mom told me a story one time about one of my great uncles who apparently his trade was sheetrock. He did drywall, and she said he bought this car, and apparently he did the body work on the thing with sheetrock mud and tape, and then paint and then sold the car. She said she saw the car driving through town, and it had streamers flying off of it like it just got there.
Oh, that's a good one. That is something I've never seen before. I thought I seen it all.
Right. I'm guilty of taking spray foam on wherever I can, filling it up with spray foam, sanding it down, put a little bit of Bond over, sand it down, paint it up, just to get it past inspection so I can drive it for another year. It's like, there you go.
You see that in states that have heavy inspections too. That's where you see the most of it.
As long as they don't see a hole or they don't see rust, they're not going to hit it with a hammer. And if you put enough Bondo over spray foam, they can tap with a hammer. It's not going to do nothing. It's going to sound good. It's not going to sound hollow. But it's not a recommended thing. I'm guilty of doing some hack stuff on my stuff, my personal stuff, not customers.
Well, there's a time and a place for everything,
But yeah, on this YouTube stuff, boy, it is a complete crapshoot on what people will want to watch. These last 3 shorts I just dropped. The first one I thought was the best one. I got 48 views on it. All the other ones, the other ones that I dropped, those are just pickup ones. I did the first one thinking, hey, this is good. Oh, here's another one I guess I can do. This one's all right. I guess I'll do this one. I don't think this one's going to do good, but I'll go ahead and do it. All of those ones I thought were going to be garbage. Boom. The one I thought was going to be good, like I said, I think it's got 48 views.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing is.
Oh, go ahead.
but before I started in the YouTube automotive and trade group here, I used to own, like, I only did YouTube in the evenings when I was playing my games before I went to bed. So I had a pretty good gaming channel for the games that I played. Then one day I decided that I was going to create another platform. Like, maybe I should start doing some adult stuff on YouTube. I'm getting old. Like people love to, hey, there's a 58-year-old whack job that plays games. Woohoo! Awesome. This should be interesting. But then when I was changing my channels, I accidentally deleted my gaming content, all my videos, everything. Well, okay, that ends that career. That's out the window now because I'll never get that back. But God, it's so friggin' hard to make content for like this kind of stuff. Like gaming content is easy to make. You can get huge numbers just being a dumbass doing stupid stuff on a computer. Or like it was just so easy. Like all you had to do is just like I had a little VTuber cat thing with a tinfoil hat, and everyone knew that I was a senior, almost a senior citizen, and that's what they joined in for. They watching this old person boss out games. Like, ooh, how can an old person be this good at games? Well, when I was your age. But no, just trying to build this channel. It's like, what do people want to watch? Everyone's done everything. It's like everyone's done everything. How, like, what kind of crazy stuff can I do? So I'm like looking at stuff that I have. I'm like, I still have to make the video of me taking my gas powered jack camera and using it as an air chisel. I still got to make that video because I swear that will get some views. I'm gonna teach people how to take an oxygen tank, a brake line, some steel wool, and cut rock, steel, and anything you want with it. Don't need anything else. Like, I'm just kind of trying to come up with really wacky stuff because like everyone's done, like tool reviews are done out the window. But that's the thing is like, well, you know what? They're all doing new tool reviews. Oh, I got this brand new tool. Let's test it right now. I'm going, my God, I got tools that are like 20 years old. I'm gonna do a 20-year after video. That's what I'm gonna start doing, pulling out all my old tools, going, look at this thing. This thing's been out in the rain, used on the job site, beat all to hell, and it's still working. And I'll pull out the ones that didn't live. It's like, and this is what the other brand didn't do. But no, it just like it's hit and miss in this genre of YouTube. It's like
one thing I found though is people actually want to watch just what you're doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter so much what it is you're doing it to. They just want to see how you do it.
Yeah. No.
I think.
Well,
it is crapshoot, but
one of the things I did, I went to the trouble to go to the junkyard and pull a 5 because everybody always argues online about these things. It's like this LS motor, the cam bearings look like crap. I have micrometers and bore gauges and the right stuff. I tore one of these things, took the time to tear it down, video it as I did it, and measure all the clearances. It's 200,000 plus mile, 5.3 was within tolerance for a new engine. And I thought, man, this will be a banger. People are going to be throwing this in people's faces when they're like, oh, those cam bearings look horrible. But no, it's like the one in that period that I posted that did good was pressure washing a 5.3 with oven cleaner. So
no. Hello.
Yeah, I got an oven cleaner video and it got big hits. I have a video that I've got to repost because I accidentally deleted it, but I left an aluminum cylinder head in some industrial degreaser overnight by accident. And when I came out, the cylinder head was 1/8 the size of its original size. The industrial cleaner had broke down the aluminum to slush in the bottom of it. Like, wow. I didn't dilute it or anything. I just put it in straight. I was just going to put it in straight, let it sit for a couple minutes, bring it out, wash it off, done deal. But I accidentally forgot about it, took off, and came back the next day. It's like, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. It's like,
Well, you
see,
like, oh my God. You just didn't market that right. What you should have been was like, how to increase compression, because all of a sudden your chambers are smaller than they were.
There's nothing. Well, that's the thing is I got it somewhere on my laptop. I'm gonna re-edit it and put it back up. But I was deleting some videos out that they were just useless. Like had no real content to that, and I actually clicked on the wrong one. Oh, hold it, that was a good one. Why did I do that? Oh well, I'll just repost them and see if I get more numbers this time. change the hashtag on it. Do some voiceover on it.
Hashtags, I've kind of steered away from them now. I throw a couple in every now and then, as long as they really pertain to what I'm doing. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
But I've kind of shied away from putting a lot of hashtags in. You know?
Well, where were you putting your hashtags? Like in your
Description. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Never in the title. If you put it in the title, it looks like spammy clickbait. It takes up room in your title, because the title is first place the algorithm looks. And if you put it in the description, it pops it up in there anyway. So you don't waste that golden real estate in your title.
And I got to find some more old injectors, because I had a box of them, but I think I recycled them, so I could show people my new 10,000 psi injector popper. You want to test that injector, see if it works? That's it.
You know, I was thinking somebody's missing a great opportunity for a YouTube channel here a while back. I was like, I thought it would be great if somebody would create a YouTube channel, somebody that really knew what they were doing, had skills and knew what they were doing, but then deliberately like half-assed everything and name it rigging. Yeah,
that's what I've been trying to do. Like I started doing work on an Avenger, and I pulled the valve cover off, and I went over to him and said, "Hey, let's start it. See what happens." I started oil everywhere. It's like that should get good numbers. It's like I know exactly what I'm doing, but hey, I'm just gonna turn the engine on with the valve cover off, everything covered in oil.
And I did that during the live stream. That's actually Byscript's secret. I'll bet you that boy actually knows a lot more than what he lays on to.
No, I'm sure.
You look at Raymond Ray. He acts like a total idiot, but he knows what he's doing. He knows damn well what he's doing. Like he drove me insane with the broken bolt extraction. It's like, seriously, you're gonna drag this out for an hour for one bolt? How the hell are you doing that? Seriously. Like,
and if you can catch a short in the right spot to where you don't know where it ends, and the ending looks just like the beginning, you get a looper. And people will watch that thing like 10, 20 times before they realize they watched the same video 10 times. Yeah. I've gotten a couple of them like that just by complete accident, because I don't edit my shorts. I throw my phone about 10 times trying to edit one short.
Yeah.
But I've caught a couple of them by accident like that.
Yeah, I don't edit shorts. Of course, I don't hardly do any shorts either. But most of my stuff's like I try to, like gosh, I don't know if you call it episode or video or what, but every time I do something, the way I try to do it is like start and complete a project in one video. It's like, all right, today we're going to do something stupid. And then when it's over, we've done something stupid. And it's like, there you go.
Yeah. But it seems that more people are more interested in seeing my cats than they do me. Because lately my little shorts of me just posting my stupid cats pestering me seem to get good numbers. Like, okay, good thing I got cats. I can start growing up.
I think cats on videos.
I was originally hoping that my crazy hair and that would accelerate me. I've had some people call me Beetlejuice because of my hair. Christopher Lloyd from Taxi, Jim. I have some older people. I don't know. The cat was right there.
That was a good video. I laughed my butt off on that one. That was good.
No.
You do a good Jim.
Yeah, on Sunday hair, you know. It's like that's why I have my locks down here. My forehead
No,
became my head.
I've got a nice little comb over, you know. I just hide it very well. Like that's all the hair I actually have on the top of my head right there. And my hair stays in whatever position I put it in too. That's like right now I look like some LA sketchy homeless guy. Hey man, I got some snap-on tools. Come on.
See, there's a perfect video right there, sir.
Yeah. See, I told my wife I was going to grow a mullet, and then I was like, "But I can't grow a mullet; it'd be a skullet." And she's like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that."
Yeah, you don't want to look like Dharma's dad from Dharma and Greg, eh? That's how my brother became.
Just care. I think it's funny. It's like,
yeah.
My favorite tattoo is my tramp stamp. You know, I have a mistletoe tramp stamp, and I think that's my favorite one. You know, it's like I've got one across my my shoulders that I have to explain in person because I don't know that YouTube would particularly enjoy the that started as a joke. You know, it's like.
Actually, on one of my friends' stream last night, they were all showing off their tattoos. I have no ink on me, so I grabbed the red marker and I inked myself, Bob. It's like, everyone's like, "Hey, check out my tattoos." I'm just sitting there.
Well, let me turn this off so I can see what the heck I'm doing. I'll show you. We're on the subject of tattoos. I'll show you guys what I got going on here if I can make it work. Like, get things backwards. But yeah. Turbocharger up here, blowing fire, and we got our piston and rod, lift or spark plug, valve springs, got some lifters around here on the backside. It's like, if we're gonna do it, let's just do it, you know. But I don't know, you know. They say your body's a temple, but I've treated mine more like a carnival ride.
Well, temples come in all designs, so
that's it, man. It's like. This ain't a practice laugh. We get one crack at this deal, you know. And when my life flashes before my eyes, I want to grin and be like, "Man, that was a good one."
I was raised in a family.
Like I always said, if you're doing 120 when you meet, you know, through the pearly gates, you'll be going so fast that St. Peter can't check your ID. So you got at least 20 minutes in there.
Chooching right along, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Who are you?" "I'm God."
I grew up in a family where we were always told no tattoos, nothing that can be used against you to identify you when you commit the crime. And if you have a scar, you hide the scar.
So, I pretty much did everything my parents told me.
Guy, yeah, this tattoo. Damn, I'm busted. Say, no, there's this crazy looking guy. Well, we got streets full of those, okay? Can you be more elaborate, please?
His head hinged in the middle when he talked. What are we gonna do?
Oh, good old South Park humor.
Oh man. You know,
but I have learned that
it's
God
like,
will send you colorful angels.
South Park.
And they'll talk in all different ways, and you got to pay attention to all of them.
Yeah.
Or colorful adjectives. That's a better way to say it.
So now I've got a dilemma. I now have two teeny turners. I have to give one away.
Stubbies?
Yeah, no, these are little stubbies for electricians, for computers and stuff like that. And they're called a teeny turner. Huh. They're actually they're made by a company here in Canada that makes a line of multi screwdrivers. But I asked them if they had anything that I could use for working on my computers and small electronics that was like a stubby, and they made this and they called it the teeny turner, named after me. But now it's become the joke because everyone thinks that this turner's teeny. Honest, I'm not teeny. It's the screwdriver.
Usually somebody starts saying stuff like that. I'm like, have you seen my wife? I got to have something going for me. Oh, yeah. I'm looking at my toolbox and thinking there's got to be something fun in there, but I should probably leave that one. Just briefly.
Yeah.
That's a video series I want to do. Is go through Dad's toolbox and show you all of the quirk weird stuff, tools that he's had to make, and like a fuel pump tool for a small block Chevy.
Yeah,
simple thing, a manual fuel pump in a small block Chevy. He made a tool to hold that pump rod up in there.
Actually, on that, a lot of people don't know, it's like it's got the 2 bolts on the front of the block. If you pull the top one out and push the push rod up and put a long one in it, screw it, it will butt up against that push rod place.
Basically what this is.
Oh, okay.
That's the one thing. That's
his
the one thing
carburetor for doing rebuilding carburetors. It's the best tool there is. All it is 4 bolts with the nuts on it. You can adjust it. You can make it level on the bench, whatever. All it is 4 bolts with nuts on them. Yeah, simplest tools like that. And that's the basic ones. He's got others, but yeah.
That's the thing is I got my grandfather's toolbox, his 2 tool carts. So originally I got my father's toolboxes, and I'm slowly getting my original toolboxes put together after the truck accident, and everything went down the hill and all over the hill, and I spent months with a metal detector trying to find them all. But I want to eventually get them all 3 sets, 3 generations of tools in the bus, and I want to do a video of it, because like my grandfather did steam engine work. He did like the stuff that doesn't exist anymore and stuff like that. He did tool fabrications for manufacturers and stuff like that. He was a millwright and a machinist extraordinaire. And the stuff that he has, like I actually have a prototype Craftsman wrench that I've always kept in my box, and that he actually made for the V series, the very first prototype V series ratcheting wrench. I actually have that.
Cool.
But that's the thing is then my father's tools, he's got all his odd stuff and all his old Detroit tools, his old diesel tools. And then I've got more modern stuff and that. And I just want to show 3 generations of industry. Right. But I don't want to do it until I get all my tools put back together, which is like literally I have totes upon totes of tools that just got thrown in it because my truck rolled down the hill and all the tools went flying everywhere. I didn't have time to go and find all the tools. I had to go buy all new tools. So I went, well, okay, let's see how far $6,000 will get me. Well, $6,000 replaced every tool I had. They're not premium names. They're not brand names. They're not Snap-on, but they replaced them. It's like, well, I'm not going to spend big money because I got thousands of dollars of tools on that hillside that I got to find. But after a good year of going up and down that hill with the metal detector and a fine tooth comb, I got about 98% of them back. No.
Subject to homemade tools like that. I used to race outlaw dirt carts, and like that, I made that to put a piston in, and when I clamped it in my lathe, I could cut the head on it to get my piston cylinder head clearance right. But being a 3-jaw chuck, I could put it in there and it would have that thing's backwards. I could have equal force and clamp down on the piston and not distort it. But
Sweet.
Yeah, a simple piece of aluminum tubing,
Yeah, it's the little simple things like that. It's just, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Well, usually the answer to that for me is I'm stupid.
Like an 11/16, little thin 11/32 wrench for doing a starter on a Chevy. You take it and heat it and bend the end of it so you can reach up in there around the header and get that little nut off of there.
How about a DIY differential spreader? Differential out there, and we'll spread it. I wasn't about to spend $1,500 for any other one. I made this one out of what was lying in the yard.
Honestly, that looks pretty multi-purpose. I believe that would spread about anything you attach to it. There's a video series right there.
Well, that's the thing is, I actually made this for the differential that we bought because the differential is so tight in there that even using the rag trick or the old block of wood trick would not knock the goddamn thing out, no matter what you did. And then I'm watching this friggin' video from like the guy from Mercedes sent it to me, and they're like, "Yeah, you gotta have this spreader." And it's this big friggin' thing. I'm like, "Oh, how much is this spreader?" Well, the one that we have is about $20,000, but you can get good ones that will do the same thing for about $1,000. I'm like, no. I go in the yard and I'm like looking at some coil rod, okay, and some big heavy angle iron, yeah, okay, weld it all together, put it on, done deal. It's like, okay, money saved.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say on homemade tools, it's like with body work. I would show it to you guys, but I've actually got it loaned to a friend right now. It's working on this Nova. But one of my favorite body work tools is I've got a piece of hardwood flooring gosh dang it, I got a piece of hardwood. I don't know, 8 or 10 inches long, and I take I've got a thick piece of aluminum that I use for like surfacing stuff, and I'll take a piece of sticky back sandpaper and put on that, and actually block my hardwood flooring flat on that, and then put my sandpaper on the hardwood flooring for like my final block sanding to make sure it's just flawless, because there's no give in it whatsoever, and it will absolutely level things to a T.
Like a bamboo flooring or something?
Yeah, just a sanding block.
Yeah.
So you doing body work, have you ever used like a palm nailer for like a hammer, like for nails, with a planishing ball in it for doing planishing by hand?
I have not.
No, I've actually done that because I've got a roller and a planishing English wheel, but there's some tight areas where you want to do it on the car. You can actually like right now I use my cordless Milwaukee palm nailer, and I've got chisels and planishers that I've just grounded out so they actually fit in, and I slide them in and I do planishing by hand right in the spot with an air nailer, and you can control the speed and the rate.
Wow, you got to do video on that, man.
Yeah, 100%. You're sitting on gold. Gold.
Yeah,
actually,
it'll be the next 12L.
I actually learned that 6 years ago from an English guy in England, and he had a YouTube video on it.
Sweet.
He's like, yeah, I picked up this Stanley air hammer because I was looking for something I could get underneath the fender here and that. And he's just this old guy with these big glasses on. And he's like, well, I just got this, and I round it down a bit, put it in there, put a little pit in there. And I'm like, oh, damn, that's handy. I'm like, look, I'm looking at the Ford going, I don't got to pull that fender off. All right, I got one of those. And then, of course, I go to my planisher, and I'm pulling the bits out, going, I got to grind these down. Oh well, I can buy new ones. and then I go to replace them. It's like, what do you mean they're twice the price now? No.
But you didn't have to take the fender off.
Yeah, I didn't have to. Well, it actually works really good. Like for anything sheet metal, like if you just want to have a little bit more control and finesse and freehandability, it's actually pretty snookum. Like even for making armor for some of my friends that still do medieval reenactment stuff and SCA stuff, I'll like right there with my cordless Milwaukee at the SCA event behind curtains, because you're not allowed to have modern technology. I'd be cheating there. There's your new shoulder. Honest, I was back there with a hammer. Honest.
Yeah. Well, they had curtains in medieval times, so.
Yeah. I used magic. I'm a wizard. I used magic to make magical armor for you. That's how it was.
Yeah, that's brilliant. You know what somebody needs to come up with is like a handheld machine that will actually shrink a panel on the vehicle, because I promise you, I'm way better at stretching metal than I am at shrinking it.
Shrinking it, yeah.
No.
But that's cool.
Got a hammer
I found the best stuff to practice with is find an old school bus, an old Bluebird school bus. This tin, the sheet metal that they use on that moves great. It's just thick enough and just soft enough that you can get it to move pretty easy, but it's rigid and firm. So if you're looking for practice material and you got an old Bluebird sitting out in your junkyard, they're just riveted on. Just go out there and, well, they're tough, but you could pop them rivets out, take a panel. They generally almost give it to you.
And make sure it's the old school bus that's not being driven. We don't need Billy and Sally falling outside when you're going around the corner on their way home. Okay.
Sneak on the school bus with an air chisel.
Fucking roll.
Well, I don't got no school buses. I got 2 Greyhounds, but
those old Bluebirds they're built tough, real tough. Good, thick, heavy sheet metal. Getting the paint off is a little hard because
18 gauge cold rolled, go to the steel shop. And because I used to be really big into choppers, and I actually at one point had a planishing hammer and shrinker and stretcher and brake and all that stuff. And I got into making gas tanks. And then one day I realized doing this sucks. I'm not going to do this anymore. So but that stuff actually works pretty good. Like as long as it's not, as long as it's fresh and hasn't been work hardened and, all that.
Yeah. I only got all that stuff because I used to be a member of the medieval group that I mentioned, and we used to make armor and all that stuff for our events and stuff like that. That's the only reason I bought it. I never bought it for a body work or that. I bought it for making armor. It's like, hey, you know what?
What were you using metal for the armor?
Oh God, everything and anything that we get our hands on. I turned a 79 Ford into a set of armor. All the body metal, all the sheet metal off of it, turned into plates for armor and stuff like that. Propane bottles that are turned into helms, and that because you got to have some thick steel because you're getting hit with a rattan baseball bat, and without a rattan stick sword will shatter a hockey helmet, will shatter a hard hat, will shatter anything with the force that these guys hit with. So it has to be heavy steel with good padding. But we used to take propane bottles, cut them down, shrink them down, bang them into shape and stuff like that. Everything that we could get our hands on. Like we weren't buying metal. We'd be running around farm fields. Go, yep, that looks like it will work. Like old pieces of chain, anything that we get our hands on.
Are you pounding taper sockets over a board with a eye hole to make dimple dies? I haven't. I've seen it done. There's a couple of YouTubes on there. We got a dimple die though, so I've never had to try it.
I just don't have a dimple die. I'm just like, nah, it's okay. I mean, you see some stuff I build.
Rarely use them, so.
Yeah. Boy, they look good when you do, though. When it's executed, it's.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Lord. No. I got mazillion tools, almost every tool that anyone would ever imagine. And every day I wake up going, what can I make a crazy video about? There's got to be something stupid I can do today to make some numbers.
Publishing idea though, you got to do that one. I can guarantee you at least one view out of it. See? Hey, there you're on roll.
Yeah, that's slick. I never even thought about that. Of course, I'm not a carpenter, so I've never had a palm nailer in my hand.
No, that's the thing is like that. Like the guy, he was just looking for a solution, and I guess he was down at his local hardware store, and he's like, "Well, it's an air nailer. It goes like this really fast, maybe like he just how his brain worked. He pieced it together. Like I myself probably never would have thought of it. But after watching, like, dude, I've got one of those. I can do this. No.
It's like Buck does it using his Sawzall for a board sander, or block sander.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of crude, but it works.
I actually have files that I've modified to fit into a Sawzall, and I use files on my Sawzall for doing rapid filing.
On the monster truck, when we get the tires, a new set, the chevrons are on the side cleats are real brutal, and when the truck had come around, especially on the rear steer, it was rough, and it just beat the truck up every time one of those cleats had come around. It just brutal on the truck. So we took a Sawzall, and you take a double bevel, always a double bevel serrated knife, and you break the handle off and cut that down to fit into the Sawzall, and we'd sipe those tires with that and cut all the side cleats off of those, big 66-inch tires.
No.
And then we could get out there and just do donuts and everything, wouldn't beat the truck up.
Yeah. See, you missed an opportunity to make a movie right there. It's like,
and each one of those cleats is like 20 pounds.
But I think tomorrow I'm going to make a YouTube video on the shop vac brand shop vacs. Those things are friggin' indestructible. For the last week, we've been drilling a hole and pumping the rock and water out with no filter on this thing. It goes straight through the motor, straight out the back, and this thing's been doing it nonstop for a week, and it's still going like new. We've been doing our own hydro vacuum with a shop vac, pressure washer, and some pieces of pipe. But no filter.
Hey, 6%.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Not too much. I was testing out. I did a live stream this week that went crappy, so I was testing out tonight, and I accidentally went live for about 10 minutes. So I had my rig set up, figured I'd come and say hi.
Sweet. You got her all figured out?
Yeah, mostly.
I still ain't got it figured out. So
I done one the other day when I had 1,000 subscribers, and I ended up rescuing my wife and pulling a lawnmower in the garage in the rain, and I haven't watched it back, but I'm sure it's awesome.
That's actually one of the funniest comments that I got. My first video that I made for this, it was a live stream, and all the big names are going, how do you have so many cameras switching between them? Because my first stream, I had like 4 different cameras, and I was switching between them and stuff like that. I said, I have gaming gear, okay? I've been using OBS for a very long time, and I've got buttons that I can hit that are right beside me that change from one camera to the next camera to the next camera. And it was like, what the heck? 1 minute we're looking at you, next minute we're in the hood of the car, next minute we're on the back of the car, and now we're at this part. It's like, how are you doing this? OBS.
Talking about streaming rigs, let me show you guys what I'm talking to you on right here. This is great. So this deal, I've got tripod stuck in the head.
That is a perfect tripod stand right there.
Yeah.
That's the tripod made by Legends.
I've got the one of those $10 ones from Amazon. That has me whooped. So
your tripod's got horsepower, man.
yeah.
Does that do 40K?
What's that?
You should start up the tripod and see if it ejects the tripod stand there.
Yeah, the battery's unhooked.
When I first started out, I used a pair of duckbill vice grips for a mic stand. That's what held my camera, my phone, because I did everything on the phone.
I had I bought a car, and there was a cell phone holder the guy left in it, and I put that on one of those quick quick grip bar clamps, and I use that to position on things and clamp onto stuff underneath the car. That's what I had. I still use it from time to time if it's in a weird spot. I have a phone that the screen's kind of messed up. It still comes through, but it's got a lot of grinder marks on it. And I'll put that like in a weld spot or in some kind of weird thing where if it gets blown up, it gets blown up. So.
I will be honest. Don't buy a GoPro. Don't ever buy a GoPro. I have a GoPro. It worked great, but they overheat really fast. And that's the thing that sucks about them.
And the audio.
That's what I heard. I ended up buying a Sony ZV-1F instead of a GoPro because it kind of did both. I could go to shows, do interviews with it. But I don't want to stick it under a car. So.
Yeah, GoPros are nice for how small they are. So you can get them into little places for action shots.
Yeah.
But, yeah, don't rely on it.
Yeah.
I've heard more and more that everybody said that they have extreme overheating problems. And they'll turn off randomly. So
and cold.
Better than that one.
If it's really cold, they won't work either.
Okay.
Well, even with the battery out of mine, because like even with the battery out of mine, right now it's hot, like it's warm to the touch, and there's no battery in it. When I put the battery in it and run it off the battery, the thing like literally you don't want to touch it. It's horrible. Great video, great image, horrible package. No, but there's a friend of mine got one of those. It's like $220. It's like a little video camera. It comes with a tripod and it has all this extra attachments, even the little head attachment. But it looks like a little miniature camcorder with a little flip screen. He picked it up for like 200 some odd bucks. Thing does 4K and it is phenomenal. It literally sinks the GoPro underwater, and it's not a huge unit either. It like fits in your hand. You can get into tight spaces. And I'm actually thinking about ordering one.
Has it got the built-in gimbal on the lens too, like the GoPro?
Yeah.
So that you can go like this, and it's still nice.
Yeah. Like I was originally looking at the new DJI, but this thing's literally almost does everything the DJI does, but at half the price.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it. I'm firing up the camera stand.
Oh, all right.
Hey, ready? I'm gonna hit the switch and push the button.
This is how you do your camera work right here.
Yeah. That's a new kind of shaky camera right there.
It looks like one of those lost footage videos now.
Yeah. There's a ghost that's going to come out all of a sudden now.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, my camera stands out of gas.
Gotta put some more gas in the tripod. Pump it.
Hey, I bet I'm the only guy on YouTube that has put gasoline in his live rig.
Yeah.
And if you want, you can cut this footage and use it if you want.
Now, I'm curious, when it fires up, is it going to automatically go to 4K?
No, but okay.
Hopefully it doesn't automatically go to the ceiling.
Well, if you put a crossover, see, it's got 4 on that side, 4 on that side. We could go to 8K.
God, I don't think YouTube can handle that. We're going to break YouTube.
Perfect timing to show up there, Irish Outlaw Garage.
What in the world? Oh, I see it. I got it. Hang on just one moment. I found the problem.
This is how you fire up a tripod.
Yep. This is the only gasoline powered.
I always always wondered what it looked like in the side of a set of headers. Oh, that's great.
There's a reason I came here tonight. So
Let me get it back over here where I can see.
Now we're gonna have to clip that and edit it into a short form.
Yeah, there you go.
All
I'll
right.
give you full use of it too. If you want to clip anything out for that, yeah, go for it, man. Do
I ain't gonna do nothing with it. I want to make one. I'll just make another one.
Tonight on BareRose Garage, the crazy folks are.
What does it look like inside of a set of headers? Here you go.
Man,
what does it feel like to have an engine start? Here you go.
what does it look like from inside the headers?
Pull, crack the glow plug and fit, and make nice little airtight fitting to put the camera into on a diesel engine. Fire it up and see if the lens can take the combustion.
Well, same
Like
video
on a good bore scope.
fire lenses in a combustion chamber. And it's wild watching the intake valve open and the fuel come in because it don't really happen the way you would think it would. You know, everybody talks about keeping the fuel in suspension and, you know, atomization and all this. And from what I've seen, it's like the fuel just pulls up at the bottom of the valve. It opens and just dumps in there.
That's like that guy that did that. He 3D printed a carburetor. It's for a lawnmower or a rototiller.
Yeah.
But you get to see it, and he uses a super high speed camera, so it slows it way down, and you see the fuel come in and poof, going right into atomization. It is neater than I'll get out. I've shared it a couple of times in my community page.
And there was I saw one like that. The guy made a clear like a Mazda 3 rotor for his RC plane. It didn't last long, but it was neat to watch everything, especially with the rotor setup, because that doesn't make any sense until you see it moving.
Yeah.
The old Mazda rotary.
Yeah, the Dorito, you know, it's got basically like 3 slices that, you know, it's an odd combustion cycle, but it's neat to watch it in a clear little RC car or RC plane engine.
Yeah.
I used to race one of them.
I remember when they were Wankler engines before Mazda had them. The old Wankler diesel. The most dreaded diesel engine ever made.
Oh, Lord. The rotary. It's like the best way I can describe it, it's a dirt bike with 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to inject oil into it.
Not only that, it's basically a 2-cycle.
Yeah, because you're injecting oil. They actually have an oil injector pumps in them.
And if it ain't got over $6,000, you ain't got nothing.
They're neat motors. They're neat for racing applications. So they don't last long when you really zoop them up, but you can get a lot of power out of something pretty small.
And if you've got one, all you got to do is take the thermal reactor off, and you jump about 100 horsepower in them. And you take that right in to the recycler, because that is like mega gold. If you can still find them on there. That's what we did with mine. We just stuck zoomies straight out of it.
Yeah.
Ran it that way for about a year, and then we run them clear to the back, because oh my good God Almighty, a rotary is brutal loud.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube named Rob Dom, and he's got a 3 or 4 rotor RX-7, and it's something like 1,400 wheel horsepower all-wheel drive. It is insanity.
I broke 2 tacks with mine. Just spin
just
clear around and snap the needle off of them. I used to have to put earplugs in, and then I'd put rags in, and then I'd cram my head into the helmet just to quiet that sucker down. It would get so loud that it would blur my vision out. God, I love that thing.
What?
It hurt me every time I looked at it, but I miss it.
Bang into second. Oh man, them front tires that come up. Oh, woof. Hot dang, that was fun.
Oh God. That takes me back to the days when I was younger, when I used to take old Cat and Detroit turbos and turn them into jet engines for our bikes. Yeah.
I got
We
old
even did-
VHS of that old sandrail. I got to figure out how to get that transferred onto like a disc. So I'm doing some video of it.
Yeah.
There's no audio, but it's from our old sand buggying and sand dragon days.
No, there's a couple companies that do conversion of the old stuff onto digital. Like I've got some old Super 8 that I sent out to get done. Some of the stuff that we've done on the farm, and I'm waiting for that to come back. So
yeah, I've got to find a place locally to take some photos. When I was doing development work at McLaren, I've got photos of us building 2 or 3 of the cars, and I need to put them. I need to figure out some way to get them digitized so I can use it in the video. This is stuff you never see.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, new guy's guitars in here. Hello, everybody. Oh, hi, everybody. I didn't say hi to before.
Hello. No. Meanwhile, all the young people on here are going, "What's Super 8?"
Oh, just do this, and they'll get it. Yeah.
What's funny
Yeah.
is back in those days, back when you actually had to buy the film and then take it in and get it developed, and then sit the whole family around and watch slides for hours.
And you always prayed that you took the right roll into the place because you didn't want them seeing the stuff you didn't want them to see. Did I take the one of me and the wife last night in, or did I take the ones of the kids in? I can't remember. Uh-oh.
Or is it in?
Huge shutterbug back then. He was taking pictures of everything. Now that he's got his phone and he can take as many pictures as he wants, and it's all free, he hardly ever takes pictures.
Yeah.
You always wonder if what you took is going to come out or is in focus, or you don't know for a month.
Yeah. No, it's actually funny. I was thinking of buying one of those digital microscopes, and I just finished getting the Samsung Note S20. I don't need a digital microscope anymore. That thing zooms in so damn freaking close that you can literally only almost see the creatures living on you.
Oh, good Lord.
I was just sitting there playing with one day. I'm like, my God, really? Seriously? Okay. I was about to spend $1,000 on another piece of equipment, but I don't need it.
Hey, I need to borrow your phone for a minute.
Look, I can find the teeny Turner finally.
Oh, Lord, that hurt.
We're gonna get well, gentlemen, on that note, my phone's down. I'm gonna get out of here.
Oh, Lord. It's a stubby screwdriver. I swear. It's a stubby screwdriver.
I don't know, man. With the selfie,
You need to get that warning like on a mirror mirror. Objects are smaller than they appear.
Yeah. What would you rather have?
I had that on it.
I'm gonna get my phone done. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great.
Nice meeting you, buddy.
Talk to you.
Great seeing you tonight, man. Whew. Oh Lord, that hurt.
Lord.
So what you been up to? 6%?
Working on that stupid car I'm building and editing video. It's taking a long time, but finally starting to make some progress, and got a swap meet to go to tomorrow, so I'll get some film and hopefully get some parts. So
You back on the Chambler or?
yeah, I have been. I've got other things I got to do, but it took about 2 weeks to get the floor plates done. I have stiffening braces from the Cherokee chassis to the Rambler body, and my welding's just not good enough, so I had to wait for my buddy to be able to be free enough to come do it, and I also had to make the panels and the plates and fit all the tubes. It took longer than I expected. Everything with this car is, but it'll be nice when it's done. You can walk up and the car, the whole thing shakes now instead of kind of two separate things shaking.
Shake the body and the wheels stay straight.
Oh yeah, basically there's been nothing connecting the body and the chassis for months now. Because when I took the stuff he had connecting it off, I had built some cross braces that just basically set the body on the chassis so I could move it. But now it's actually locked together. Now I just have to actually put stuff in it and make it one piece.
It's definitely one of my favorite builds.
I'm hoping when it's done, it's going to be exciting. I think it might be a little hard for people to tell what it is because it's just in this little box, and it's hard to you're putting what and what together, and it's like, no, hopefully it'll look pretty cool when it's done. So
that's like that 55 truck we did. It's all custom underneath. It's actually 77 Chevy Malibu, but it's all covered up by fenders and everything. You don't see it. So yeah. Unless you really get in there and you look up inside, crawl under and look up inside, then you see it. But
I wanted to tell you that rat rod you and your dad built, that thing is sweet. I really like that. That's impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I've never seen anybody flip the twin beams before. That's a neat idea.
I'll never do it again.
It's a neat idea. Maybe not a neat in practice, but it's a neat idea.
Yeah, it was fun. That was, of all the builds we've done, that one's my favorite.
I can see why.
Got to see my dad's brain actually 100% work when we were doing that one.
Nice.
More so than the monster truck or any of the other stuff we've ever done. That one he was scratching his noodle pretty good on.
Yeah. I heard you say monster truck, so I had to join the live stream. So.
But we were a ride truck. We weren't a race truck. So
it's still neat. I mean, I grew up in Florida and Naples Sports Park, and basically you were 50 feet from the monster trucks going through there, or the Sippy Hole, which was when they mud race. I don't know if you guys have ever seen.
Yeah, you were right next to the Sippy Hole.
Yeah, you're 40 feet from the Sippy Hole. Yep.
Oh,
and they'd run the monster trucks down through that same area once they dried out. So you were right there.
I like the swamp buggies better. Oh man, those things were cool.
Because you'd have the Jeeps and like totally stock Jeeps, and you have this weird swamp boat hydrofoil goofy thing that would go just blasting through there at 100 miles an hour.
Had
basically a boat with
tires on them, and they were like salt flat discs, but they were like rudders.
Basically, it was like tractor tires in the back, and then they took rubber bands and glued them to aluminum wheels in the front and just go through to 100 miles an hour.
Oh, good Lord.
Jesus.
And it always come to the Sippy Hole.
Yep.
And if you bogged there, whoop, down you went.
Well, that was the best part. You'd see all these Jeeps going through there real slow, and they'd all get the Sippy Hole at the same time, just go. Yep.
Jesus.
Good Lord, that was like, mid 80s. Back when TNT and USA Network used to cover that.
Yeah, because I want to say most of it I saw would have been late 80s, early 90s. when I was still down there and just getting into middle school and high school. And yeah, they're still. I went back down there for a travel job in 2003, and they were still running stuff through that sports park. I don't know if it's still open now. I'll have to check. It's been a while since I've been back down there.
Yeah. God, man.
People will find a way to make something do something it's not supposed to, and as fast and loud as possible. So.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
at Mohawk they finally closed off Lion's Back. They won't let you run the Lion's Back anymore.
I'd heard they've been talking about shutting a decent amount of it down here, but they're always saying it. It's weird when they actually finally do it.
It's on the block every year.
Yeah. No, it's one of the things I'm looking forward to hopefully doing next year is Moab, and I want to go see the Salt Flats. Even if they're not running, I at least want to go out there. One of my good friends has family out in Utah, so it would be a nice excuse to take her with me, find a car, drive it back, content for the channel, and fun stuff to do. So.
Yeah, if you make it out for Speed Week, let me know. I'll be there.
Cool.
It's only like 3.5 hours from my house.
Okay. I've always loved Baja racing, soft flat stuff, and Jeeps, but that's stuff I've always wanted to go out and see. Really can't compete in much of it at this point with the way my body is, but I still want to see it.
And if you make it to Mohawk, oh man, you got to go through the Canyonlands. Hands down, that beats the Grand Canyon. Well, it's actually the start of the Grand Canyon.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been farther west than Indy when I went last year for PRI, so I need to keep going west. I've been up and down my side of the states, but I've never really been any farther west than Indy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, if you go to the Salt Flats, all the way at the end towards the pits, there's a little sunglass booth right there. Don't bother bringing your own sunglasses. They won't work. Go there the first day. First thing you ever do, drop off, go all the way out there and buy you a set of sunglasses there. They're special for the salt, and they're the only ones that work. Otherwise, in 5 minutes, you'll white out, and you'll have the biggest dang headache ever. That salt is brutal.
No, that's good to know because I've never been a sunglass guy, and I've got cataract replaced eyeball, so I want to protect them.
I always thought, wow, I've done, the snow and everything. I've gotten snowblind a couple of times, but I'll be all right. I'll just use these, cheap sunglasses. I'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Within 10 minutes, I had migraine, and my eyes, they felt like they were going to bleed from the glare.
Have you seen the new guy that signed up for No Name that's got the Salt Flats cars?
I haven't yet.
Let me see if I can look it up real quick. I can't remember the name of his.
I wonder if I know him.
I want to say it's Nick Landry, but I'm probably wrong. All right. Phil Landry. His channel's on John's. Yep. He's got a couple salt flat cars, and as far as I know, he's bringing something to No Name.
Yeah, I'll definitely check him out.
Yeah, he's on John's 500 list. So.
Yeah, cool.
He's got a early '80s Fox body Mustang with a flathead in it that he races, and a couple other things. I've only seen his channel quickly, but it's neat stuff.
If he's been out there, I've probably seen him run.
So, it's marked up like he's been there before, so I'm assuming it's something he's done for a while.
And wow, what an experience that is! Whoa.
Seeing it on TV is from since I was a kid, and seeing how fast people go, and it's impressive and dangerous, and just a neat environment. And plus, Utah itself just sounds incredibly interesting because you go from wasteland to mountains to seems like everything in one spot.
The only thing that separates from you from the track is a blue line painted on the salt. There's no bleachers. There ain't no nothing out there.
Yeah.
You got to bring a radio just to hear the announcer. I loved it. Cuts all the riprap out. There's no sponsors. There's no nothing. It's all about speed.
It isn't a live stream without a Doberman, so.
Yeah. I just got a notification. So someone made a video on the new Makita Easy Bake Oven.
Really?
Makita?
That new microwave. It literally looks like an Easy Bake Oven.
No, Makita's making it though?
Yeah. Well, Makita's whole new platform. We can't build tools that people don't want to buy, so we're going to make cooking appliances now.
Easy bake ovens,
they've got all kinds of weird stuff. I think it's mostly in the Japanese market. Like they make coffee makers that are battery, like the tool battery power and all kinds of weird stuff for it.
Yeah, that's the thing up here in Canada. We got the kettle, we got the coffee maker, the microwave is supposed to be here next week. They've got a couple other little things. They even have a curling iron.
What the heck?
Makita makes a curling iron for women.
I'm not at this point. At this point, nothing's surprising about it. Like Ryobi makes everything like that too. Like they glue guns and lawnmowers, and it's all on the same battery. It's not a bad idea, but it's just kind of weird at the same point.
Yeah.
Well, Makita.
Well, you'd expect a company like Ryobi, a brand like Ryobi, to do it because they're an experimental platform. What's successful on there, ITC will take and turn into Rigid or Milwaukee. So whatever succeeds, it becomes popular in the Ryobi brand. They make bigger, but it's like.
And they're also not in a professional market. Makita is technically a professional tool line, so it is.
Uh-huh.
But also, I think the Japanese market is different too.
But that's the thing is that like you don't see other tool brands do this because they all make a power station that you can plug anything you want into. So that kind of defeats the purpose. Like when you have like cordless coffee makers, now you have to have 2 batteries for this thing. You have to have 2 more batteries for this. So you're buying more batteries, or you're taking the batteries out of your tool to make your coffee. So you have more batteries. So you're spending more money on batteries. Or if you have a power station or like an inverter hooked up to your truck, like I do, you can run anything you want off of that. And that's why like Milwaukee, they've got power station. And now Milwaukee, Makita, they've got a power station coming out, but they're advertising it. Use our new power station to charge your batteries. Use a battery to charge batteries. What?
Huh?
This? Buy our big, massive, bulky battery and use that to charge batteries. But you still have to charge that big battery. It's like, no, that's not how you market it. You market it, hey, look, we made a portable power solution that you can, hey, plug your coffee maker into, plug your blender into, take camping with you, have power on the go. Instead of like, well, use our batteries to charge your batteries so you can make your cup of coffee with those batteries that you just charged with our battery. They're marketing. Their train of thought is confusing.
Marketing guy that went in there and said, "Have I got a solution for us? We're going to have batteries to charge our batteries to charge our batteries that you need batteries for." Hey,
yeah. Like that. My coffee maker's batteries are gone, and I don't want to take the battery out of my drill, so I'll just use my battery to charge my batteries. When it would have been cheaper to just buy the power station, bought a Walmart coffee maker. And that makes a pot of coffee, not a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
for like
exactly.
Yeah. Well, and Walmart has that tool line now too, so they probably have a coffee maker in their tool line.
Oh, I hope ITC doesn't do that to the Walmart brand. I don't know.
I don't know, that Hart brand, from what I've heard, isn't bad for the money. If you need a tool and you've got a budget, I've heard it's not bad stuff.
Well, apparently sometime next week I'm going to get to find out how good they are, because I made a mistake, because like I've got my email address that I use for my social media stuff and that, but I also have my corporate address for my business. I accidentally used my corporate address to send them an email about, I just wanted to know who was making their tools, because I've been trying to research on what brand their motor is, because ITC uses 6 different motors from different ones. I want to know which motors they were putting in the Hart brand. And I said, well, I got a YouTube channel. I'm just doing research for YouTube. But I sent it using my corporate email address. So they took a look at my company, like, whoa, this person's got a YouTube channel and he's got this company. So they're like, well, let us send you some tools. You can test them out on your job sites. Like, I didn't want your garbage. I don't want your tools. I just wanted an answer to a question. Well, we're sending you some tools. Like, okay, well, trust me, if they don't last a day on the job, you're gonna know. I'll give them to the boys on the job. They're abusive to the tools. We'll see. I'll get like sometime next week. I'll be able to show you guys if they are any good. I'll introduce them, then I'll let the guys have them for 2 months. 2 months down the road, I'll do a review on how well they've survived, if they survived 2 months, and then we'll know the truth. But so I have to make note to next time that I mention I have a YouTube channel and stuff like that, and I don't want their tools, to not send it with my corporate address. Oh, crap. Now I'm gonna have Hart stuff. Jeez. Meanwhile, with tools and tactics, they're like, well, we got rigid, we got flex. I'm like, yeah, and I'm a Canadian, so I get the crap. It's a Canadian. They don't care. Just give them whatever.
With this YouTube stuff, though, companies will start reaching out to you, and you get all kind. If you want to do it,
they obviously didn't research my YouTube channel, though, because like that's things I don't have enough subs to be even considered YouTube popular. Like I've got 236 subs. It's like, if you guys looked at my channel, maybe you guys might have rethought this.
I got my first offer when I only had like 100 and something subs.
Really?
It was for LED lights, and everybody. I think it's Axiom.
But no,
I got hooked up with a brand called Steinjagger when I went to PRI, and I have an affiliate link with them now, so I'm going to be able to buy their parts at discount, which I need for my Jeeps anyway. And if people buy it off my code, I get a little bit of money for it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Like I said, it'll start to happen, and it'll start kind of organically happening. They'll start reaching out to you. And if it's something you want to do, look into it. Just be careful on what you open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And make sure that you're using a separate email from what your channel is registered under.
Yeah. I actually, you mentioned that on a couple live streams ago, and I changed my email on my YouTube account to a specific info at 6% recycled, so it's more straightforward, and it's something is separate. So
good.
Well,
I hate to see any of you guys lose your channel over some jackwagon.
Yeah.
The nice part was I met the reps at that show, so I was able to talk with the guys, so I knew going in what to expect, and I just thought it was a neat stuff. They make a lot of suspension parts and hard parts. They make Jeep stuff and stuff for other companies, and they also make builder parts like rod ends and tubes and stuff. But the cool thing about it is whatever they make, if it's a tube product, they make it in about 30 colors that you can order. So you can get everything from hot pink to Mopar colors and all kinds of stuff.
Cool.
And that's huge in the Jeep stuff because everybody color matches everything. So they do.
I know. Off-road is huge here. The hardest thing to find in my area is a two-wheel drive truck. Everything's four-wheel drive.
Well, nothing in Michigan's two-wheel drive. With all the snow, nobody even bothers.
Yeah. One of the hardest things to find, and it's worth every penny, the old two-wheel drive Jimmies, the old 70s two-wheel drive rear-wheel drive Jimmies. Those are so sought after, but they are like so far and few between. And when you do find one, it's been grenaded and destroyed.
Around here, it was the 60s, from about 66 to 72 GMCs. Good Lord, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted those because they were heavy duty. They were made for hauling. The Chevys, they were for going to town in.
Yeah. Finding a good old classic Jimmy with the full hard top that went right over the driver's seat. So when you take the top off, it's like driving a true convertible.
Yeah, the 73 to 75s when they did that. Those first 2 to 3 years were when they had the full removals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a 72 Chevy K5.
Yeah.
My dad had a 73 square body the only year that they did the full top.
No, I mean, everything around here is, if you find a decent price, at least in my area, it's so rotten you almost can't, it's not worth buying it. You almost have to go somewhere to buy it. And I'd rather have a decent body and a bad powertrain. That's a whole lot easier to deal with than making body panels and fitting everything. And
yeah.
Well, if you got the money, you can buy all of that stuff one piece at a time if you want. They aftermarket all of it.
Oh yeah, you can build a Jeep without ever having bought a Jeep.
Yep.
You can buy every stinking part for one. And I know the Chevys are getting like that. Hell, yeah, I think you can buy a Camaro and a Firebird new old stock, like a brand new 67 Camaro in a crate.
They're making 32 Fords in Hamilton, Montana.
I'd love
the guy bought the original stamp tools and everything, and he's stamping them out again.
What is that? There's down in Mexico, there's a Ford plant down there that's still making the old not the European version of the Ranger, but they're still making like the 1980s body styles, still stamping them out, still making them brand spanking new and selling them. And there's people in Australia and New Zealand that discovered this, and they're just ordering them from over there because they love them over in Australia and New Zealand. Like, dude, we can get a brand new one? Seriously? Okay. Like, nope. They're just like it's like even up here in Canada, there's a company in Vancouver that bought all the stamps and that from a whole bunch of like from GM and that, and they're stamping out everything that you could ever imagine. Like you just call them up, tell them what year you want, and they'll turn around, we'll stamp it out tomorrow. It's like, seriously? Yeah, we just bought all the old machinery from the plants in back east in Montreal and all that stuff, and we bought some stuff from down in New York and that. We've got all the old machinery here. They got this old airport hangar that's just old stamping equipment just going all the way along.
Cool.
Yeah, the one guy who I knew of that made AMC parts has gone. He's shut down. So everything that I'm doing for my stuff is all going to have to be handmade, other than some of the random stuff. But if it's like 67 and up, they tend to make it, like the Ramblers, AMX, any of that stuff. But the older stuff that I've got, it's weird. If you find something, you're lucky.
And usually the ones you can find are in worse shape than the ones that you got.
Yeah. Well, I got lucky. Both my I have a 63, and then the Chambler's is 65, and the Chambler's in much worse shape. Everything I'm touching, I just find more rot. But the 63 was in a barn for so long that basically since I was born, it'd been sitting in somebody's barn up about a half an hour north of me. And it's got spots here and there, but that's going to be a fun car I'm going to have a nice tall one and a slammed one. I'm going to put that one on the ground.
Nice.
I think we'll go about another 10 minutes. That gives me that puts it right at 3 hours, and then I'll cut her down. That way I can save on them StreamYard hours.
I got this bad habit. Like I think my record stream right now for on here is 7.5 hours. My longest gaming stream was actually 2 weeks. but I've had to pay for StreamYard from the very first day that I used it because I have no grasp of time because I don't look at clocks and that. So and time flows differently in my brain. Like we've been here for what, like I've been on for probably about 2 hours of the 3 hours, but it only feels like I've only been here for half an hour. So like that's the thing is like with how my brain works is like there is no such thing as free in my world. I'm going to be paying for the service because like, I'll just be sitting there. I'll be doing like literally nothing, just looking at the screen and letting other people talk. It's like tinkering around and stuff. Next thing you know, like, oh wow, 6 hours. Okay, no wonder it's dark outside. Okay.
With YouTube, if you go live through YouTube, you can stream for 24 hours. They don't have a time limit.
Yeah. Well, that's what I liked about OBS, and just going straight through OBS Studio straight in. You can stream forever and ever. The only thing with OBS is it's a pain in the butt to have guests in because you have to run another software.
Yeah.
And run that through your OBS, and setting it up and getting people linked in is a pain in the butt, and that's where StreamYard makes it easy. They've streamlined it. So all you do is all I do is I just run my OBS through StreamYard now. So
I do that live stream with New Guys Garage, New Guys Guitar, Woody's Garage, and then Junkyard Necromancer on every other Monday, and that 2 hours goes by like that.
It does.
Yeah.
Holy cow, would you look at this? We got royalty coming in. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's
Good to
up?
see you,
What's up,
brother.
everybody?
Howdy.
It's like your abstract art. All we can see is your head and your hat.
Yeah, I'm outside right now.
It kind of reminds me of a certain music video done by Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm just waiting for him to head floating in the dark.
How you been doing,
What's
man?
up, everybody?
Good, man. What's happening?
Not much. Just got done on a live stream on my channel, but Dan forgot to put it on public, so it was on private the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I didn't know you guys were on.
What's that?
I didn't know you guys were on tonight. I went on accidentally tonight when I was doing a test, but that was an accident.
It wasn't really planned. Dan came over to grill some food, so we figured we're both here, we might as well.
Way cool.
Where are my followers?
On
Where are my
this
subscribers? I can't see them.
If you accidentally leave it on or do it on private through StreamYard, you can't see
it was
the
through
comments.
YouTube.
Oh, through YouTube?
Yeah, we switched over to YouTube from our StreamYard because every time I try to play guitar, StreamYard never really picked it up, like sound-wise.
Oh, really?
YouTube seems to have way better sound quality.
Yeah, the audio through StreamYard is kind of screwy because it's like a 6-second delay, 6-7-second delay. And yeah, it sounds totally different on this side than it does on the YouTube side I got playing over here.
Yeah, definitely. We came to that conclusion. Dan bought this fancy microphone that we kept because it helped out a lot. But I think if we didn't have me playing guitar, it wouldn't have been a big issue. But like it didn't pick up the sound of the guitar if we were on StreamYard. It would kind of fade in and out and sound really tinny, and that's not something I wanted to. I want to sound good.
Yeah.
Well, you're good, man. You got it.
Thank
man.
you.
Well,
And
as
so,
far as
like
I
I
know,
said, if any of you guys are looking for, some music, background music and stuff, this is the guy right here. Look him up.
Yeah,
Cool.
if anybody wants to use any songs that are on my channel, they're all pretty much open to be used. Email newguysgarage@gmail.com. Spelled just like his channel. He can get you all the tracks that you need or want, or
Cool.
And
I
he's
use
good.
it. I use Tom stuff exclusively in my videos now.
I
Cool.
won't come after anybody for copyright or anything like that. So, you all good.
I have to give you a check out then. I'll have to give you a listen.
Yeah, come on over. I got a little bit of something for everybody. So, pretty
You have about
versatile
10.
musically. What's
You have
that?
about 10. You have about 10 songs up, right? That are your creations.
Yeah, roughly about 10.
In different genres too. You know, it's not just all one thing. And the guy's good.
A lot of funk and blues. But yeah, it's just
That's the good stuff.
what I'm mainly into. So,
Funk and blues also works well for background stuff and videos too, because it's not
That it does.
really too harsh, not too soft. It mixes well.
that's originally how I started my channel. I was just trying to make songs Dan could use on his channel for that he wouldn't get copyright strikes on. And then I just put it out on this channel, and here I am.
Cool.
Have you ever caught any grief from YouTube or anybody saying that it was theirs or anything? You know, cross-pollinating.
There was one song that they said like a 2-second clip of it was copywritten from somebody else, but we emailed them back and said if it is completely like not intentional. Nothing that I've created is specifically like intended to sound a certain way, and they
backed down
took it
on
off, so I
That's
wasn't copywritten stricken anymore, I guess. We on Dan's New Guys Garages Live, we got a copyright strike from Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
It sounded just a little too much like Comfortably Numb, so because
I
it
know
was
there's-
comfortably numb.
Yeah,
There's a couple of artists you don't want to mess around with.
They're pretty
That's-
fair about it. They just, I guess, took a cut of whatever proceeds were made from the live.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
Which, I mean, that's fair.
I'm surprised they went after you. They seemed like decent people out of all the crazy people you hear about in music.
It's not.
Well, I
them,
mean,
it's the
it all
company.
is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I understand it's a record label.
It
Whoever owns
wasn't like David Gilmour came after me. It was some guy sitting behind a desk at a
Some
record
people on your door.
company.
on your phone. What are you using my music for?
And then I'd be like, "Can I just talk to him for a second?"
I thought it was, if anything under 10 seconds was allowable within reason. I thought 10 seconds was the magic
Right.
number if you use something.
Probably. We played most of like all the song up till the first
Yeah.
solo, so yeah, I could see. Yeah, that was. But I guess I wasn't really sure about like fair use and how far that extends. So now I kind of got more of a grasp on it.
Are you
But
familiar with?
it really only
Rick
matters
Beato?
on Dan's channel right now because I'm not monetized. So
And if it happens on a live, and they, they don't give you a strike, but they give, like you said, a claim.
yeah,
I don't monetize any of my lives anyway, so you don't get a lot of that from a live that I've seen. And talking to other even bigger YouTubers, that's why they don't really like doing the lives, because they kind of take away from the money part of it. But yeah, I don't care.
hey, I like getting out there and talking to people. So
Exactly.
You know, if
And
I
it
was
does help for that.
if I was here to make money, I don't know. I'd be eating at the homeless shelter every night.
Right.
What kind of salad? Mystery meat? My favorite.
I am here to have fun, but I'm also here to make money. So, I will sell anything that I use as long as I use it. So,
And if you
Yeah, I
can make money at this, it's what all of us have dreamed about. You get paid to work on your own stuff.
Well,
You don't
it's
have
like
to
that thing
chase
with,
that guy down and try to get your money out of him because that is a
like
pain
the
in
thing
the
with
butt.
Steinjagger. You know, I get a 50% discount. That's great because I'm going to be buying the crap anyway. So I might as well get it at a better price. And if someone does buy the stuff, it's stuff I buy anyway. I have absolutely no problem saying, you know, this stuff works. So let's do it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm going to be
test
making
out
phone
anything.
calls. I need tires. I need this. I will throw your stickers all over my car. Give me some kind of discount on this crap because I got to find some way to pay for it.
It would be nice because apparently everything in the guitar world costs an arm and a leg nowadays. So it's not like, 10, 15 years ago when I was playing in bands, it was doable. Now it's just everything's outrageous.
Yeah.
Even strings are like $20 nowadays. They used to be $8.
Really? Wow.
You could buy like a standard Gibson guitar for $1,200. Now that
Yeah.
same guitar is like 6,500 something. It's just
That's
it's
inflation.
getting
Yeah,
outrageous.
that's inflation, but it's not just inflation.
No, it's they push brands really big, just like everything else, like DeWalt and everything else. Guitars have their brands, and basically you're paying mostly for the brand.
And the quality isn't like it
Not
was.
anymore. I mean, it's not half as good as it used to be. They used to
I don't
hand
think
wire all the amps and everything else, and now everything is put through as fast as it possibly can and probably break down in a couple months.
last I heard, a standard Gibson isn't even using a bone nut anymore. They went plastic.
Anything to save a little bit of ching.
Yeah.
No, everything's built to a price point, and that price point seems to get lower while the cost seems to get higher.
Well, and like they just keep marking everything up. Like I could see going up just a little bit, but I mean the price of wood hasn't went up that much. I think a lot of it is taking advantage of what's going on.
Oh yeah. They're like sharks. They see blood in the water. They're going for it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you just broke your brother's brain because he's in the chat going, "Hey, what the hell?"
I thought I'd pop in and say hi.
I did see a couple of your lives on there, or your live performances on your channel there, and it pretty good, man. Pretty doggone good.
From
As
way
far as
back
I know,
when.
Rose, we're doing that joint live stream with all of us on Monday night. As far as I know, it's still happening, Tom. So
Okay. I'll be
haven't
there
gotten
on time this time.
no matter what, you're still gonna be earlier and witty. So
True. I'm definitely at least more consistent than witty. That's a benchmark I can handle.
yes.
So how many
Our buddy-
guitars have you got?
I got about 5 right now.
5?
Nice.
3 of them are in working order. The other 2 have to be completely re-gone through. One of them is that carved guitar I got from my dad, who gave it to my uncle, and my uncle carved stuff into it. My great uncle carved stuff into it, and then eventually my dad got that back. It's really cool. It's got like roses carved in the front of it.
Oh man.
Oh, cool.
You do your own guitar work and stuff too?
Yeah, I wire things together and put stuff together.
Sweet. Great
Yeah, he's got a
content,
lot of-
man.
Figure out what's
He's
going
got a lot
on.
of content on his channel for guitar stuff.
Yeah, I try to like tonight on the live tonight, which is up now for everybody to watch finally. I swapped out a set of strings on my acoustic, so I kind of walked through the process of changing strings. Like I want to do a lot of stuff like everybody's who's just getting into like a guitar, trying to figure it out, might not have any idea on how to change the string. Like,
It's important. There is a technique to it. It's not just throw them on there and wind them up.
and then a lot of people don't have a lot of time anymore. Like, time is very valuable. So I put up shorts with one chord lesson.
I've
So if you
got
only
a
have
bunch of
time
those.
for learning one chord, then you can learn a chord.
I wonder who
Jason.
that could be.
No idea.
I got a few ideas.
Listening to you makes me want to dig out my old banjo.
Is that John
Oh,
Cena?
yeah.
Who is it?
I
God,
love banjo.
I've got an old Steely sitting under the bed, but there's a pain in the butt to get to. It's the safest place for it, out of my hands.
Is it
My
a five?
great uncle also had a banjo that he loaned me for a while, and
Yeah.
I like that instrument. I like the picking with all the fingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
think-
I know who it is now. It's I see Wilburns.
I picked up banjo because I fell in love with
Slips that
bluegrass.
little orange paper on me every time. You see that? I see
Yeah,
what you're doing. I see a little orange.
I sent some Bad Tree had said something in his live stream and hey, what's up, Wilburn or something. So I made this GIF and it was the traveling Wilburns or traveling Wilburys, and it's John's head on everybody's body, and I changed the name.
Oh.
Tell them what it is, Tom.
That's our the next thumbnail for my live.
Oh, sweet.
That's my head on some wrestler hitting a guitar over New Guy Garage's head.
Yeah.
There were some times I wanted to, yeah.
Yeah. I thought about paying you to hit him with the guitar, to be honest with you. So
How much?
whatever we paid Woody's wife to conk him with the frying pan.
Deal. I'll accept it.
Yeah, that's what I
Traveling
mean.
Wilburns. That's classic, man.
I took the traveling Wilburys and I changed the name to Wilburns and I put his head on everybody's body.
That's perfect. Which one's lucky?
6%. You should
That's
do
fitting.
something like that for a thumbnail.
It's one of those things where it has to pop in my head for me to get the spark of creativity to come up with something that stupid. So
Yeah, Dan's
It's-
pretty good at it.
well, it's like picking with pickle. It just popped in my head, and now it's going to be a super famous YouTube channel at some point. So
Or his live stream name, Chillin' with Dylan.
yeah,
Yeah. I still use good old Microsoft Paint to do all my images.
I used to, and then I started using Canva, and it's so much quicker. It's like I can do a thumbnail and everything in a minute, and it would take me an hour in Paint.
Yeah.
It's
noticed-
it's so much easier.
No.
I
I
generally
don't
use
use it
Buddy,
because-
but I've noticed that when I load it, the picture is great. And then when I go through TubeBuddy and I put my text in it, it downgrades the picture, the thumbnail, the actual picture. So ever since
For
they
what?
did this little switchover thing, it's done that. So I'm looking for a new one. I'll try that one.
Yeah, Canva's they have a free one, and I think it's the one I have is I think it's I think it's $120 a month. I had to upgrade because I've been doing too much stuff in it. It was just easier to just deal with it. I
Dan,
thought
what
about
do you
doing.
use?
I'm sorry.
I was asking Dan what he uses to edit stuff because it seems like he'll just be sitting there and 10 minutes later, like the Mustang's going to space, or it's fighting ghosts, or
Yeah. I'm not that
seems
advanced
to
yet. I
only
know that
take him
Camp
like
will do it.
a couple minutes, and it's
Yeah, I'm not that advanced yet. Just for the stuff I'm doing, it's super fast, but I know that the program will do it. I just have to learn it.
I've been experimenting with this
Wow.
one of these online AI things lately, and you can actually give it links to your images and tell it to make stuff out of your images, and it's actually pretty good at some of the stuff. It's like,
I want to
seriously?
figure
AI
that
is
out.
weird.
The AI
Right.
stuff is really coming along.
Oh God! Some of the monstrosities I've created using this little AI program. It's like I can't put that up. I can't. It's like what the hell did you do to me, you stupid robot?
That's
I
I've
think
been
that's what it
watching.
is. TubeBuddy integrated an AI into them, so you can do stuff like that. It's probably above my pay scale in it, but
Yeah.
I've been watching
that's when it
the
went
there's
downgraded
a
me.
AI presidents. So it's like the voices of like the last 3 U.S. presidents, and they're playing
Yeah.
like video
Like
games,
Minecraft and stuff like that. It's like,
and it's just hilarious.
Obama, can you get over here? I'm on my way.
I thought
Also,
about using
what we
I thought
got to
about
do.
using TubeBuddy, but I don't want to give them access to my account. That's the only thing that kind of turned me off to it.
Yeah, all of them you got to do that with.
Yeah,
Good.
it's
Good
kind of
old
not real sure about that one yet.
And it's for that stuff. They go through and they tell you the strength of your tags, and then it shoots it out across everybody. And the creepy thing about TubeBuddy is you can spy on other channels. I'm not really big on that.
Have you seen success using it? Have you noticed a difference, or
I just use it for the tags and the thumbnail. That's all I use it for.
Okay.
The tag generator, every once in a while it hits a good 10 of them, 10 good tags that I can just click, 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 click. Okay. And it just speeds that whole process up.
Yeah, because I've been talking to Dan, and he'd mentioned that he liked it. I think Junkyard did too. But when I looked into it more, the whole giving them your channel thing, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just not versed well enough in it or what. But the idea just kind of turns me off.
But you
Not
can
really
actually
take
go
you out
over
your
and click on
information.
somebody else's channel and see how they're doing, seeing what they've done with it and stuff like that. It'll tell you how many likes they have on Facebook, and if they've shared the video out on Facebook, it'll tell you how it's doing on Facebook and YouTube, and gives you all kinds of information.
You can be your own CIA. Okay.
It kind of felt weird using it, so I just use it for the thumbnail and the tag generator.
There's a certain set of standards that some people just don't have. So I would feel completely weird doing that too.
Yeah.
Like there's something not right about it.
Well, like after some of the stuff you and John did about the try new things for your channel, instructional stuff for the No Name Nationals, I went back through and added tags, changed the wording and some stuff, improved the thumbnails, and I've been tracking it myself, and I've noticed certain things. It does make a difference. In other videos, it's been another 56 videos. It actually makes a huge difference on some stuff, and some stuff is just apparently it's done. It's got what it's got. It ain't going anywhere.
Like I said, this whole YouTube thing is throwing quarters in the slot machine. You pull the handle, and sometimes you come up pineapples.
Yeah.
It's sort of like you're just feeding the algorithm. Sometimes you roll, the dice. It's either you're rolling dice or you're flinging poop. One of the two. Something's going to stick to something.
And like I was saying earlier, these past 4 shorts I put out, actually the first short in that series is the only one I put any thought into. The other 3 are just pickup ones. I was like, okay, there's a short for the day. Going along at, oh, wait a minute, here's another one. Okay, I'll get this one done. Okay, here we go. That first one, I got 48 views on. The other ones, 2,000, 3,000. The ones I just, bleh, here.
I made this
Blow me
goofy
away.
thing. So John was texting Dan about, or New Guys Garage, about a tempo. Can you fix my Ford Tempo? And it got me thinking that there used to be a dietary aid thing or a medicine called Tempo, and I took video clips of a Ford Tempo and this Tempo laxative thing and put them together in a short. I thought it was funny as hell, and it's like flatlined. I put something out about the dogs, 2,000 views in a heartbeat. It's like whatever.
Well, I'm going to get off here, guys. My phone's only at 4%, so I figure I should get off here before it dies.
No problem. You're welcome anytime, man.
Well, thank you very much. It was nice being here. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Same with you. And I'm going to check you out. I'm going to check your music out, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
And to your brother, that last video that his brother put out, New Guys Garage.
Yeah.
Perfect, man. I could watch that one 2 or 3 times. That was great.
Nice.
Which one? The carb one, the B&R one?
He's got his daughter running the camera, his little daughter running. Oh, man, that's just perfect.
Yeah, he's a content generated machine. I'm a little behind on stuff. I've been doing so much of my own crap. I have a hard time watching everybody else's stuff right now.
Yeah. But
Tom's got a lot of...
Because I need coffee and I need to get something to eat. I'm hungry.
Definitely check out New Guy's Guitar. He's got a lot of stuff from his old band days, original music. He does some cover stuff, guitar work, and he's got a cool channel.
Yeah, I'll give him a look, and if I like him, I'll tell everyone else to give him a check out too. So,
thank you, Sawyer.
Yeah, well, that's what the community's about.
That's right.
What the community's about. Just loving each other, helping each other, and try to grow together. So.
Amen.
Well, you guys have a great night, and it was awesome hanging out with y'all.
You too, man. Nice to meet you.
Keep being awesome. Hit the subscribe button, or I'm going to send Chuck Norris after you.
Ooh. For a little roadhouse. That is so true, John. You can win the Nobel Prize with something and get 300 views. And get 10 million views for shooting a bottle rocket out of your butt. It's just the way YouTube is.
My dogs are seriously like half my shorts are about the dogs, and those are the ones that normally do the best. So, whatever.
And then you'll hit the wrong day, and you'll shoot the one of the dog, and it'll go flatline. And then the one that was flatline, you shoot something like that. And it skyrockets.
I replaced the fog lights with LEDs on my friend's 2007 F-250, and I figured it's a really popular truck. It'd probably be interesting. It's got like 18 views. And other random crap, I did a thing about a distributor wrench that I got from my uncle, and that's got like 1,000. I can't. I just keep making stuff, and I put stuff that I think is entertaining, and it'll do what it does.
And one thing that does help is if you get one troll comment. I love trolls. I just love trolls. Because you get one of them, little controversy. I'm not saying go out and make controversial videos. Just, you get that little...
Yeah, I actively don't want it. I don't want to deal with that crap. But at the same point, I have this one video... I saw a cop car getting towed at PRI last year, and I hadn't decided I wasn't going to do it. And then I figured out, screw it, I'll do it. Put it out, and that's my most popular short. And the first 2 comments were like, "That's not a cop car." It's like, it's a cop car. I have no reason to lie. You can figure out what it is. I'm not out here to make I'm not trying to put myself in that thing. It's like, it's a cop car. It's got cop brakes, cop tires, a spotlight. It's a brand new random ass Dodge Charger or Challenger 4-door. It didn't just nobody buy. I don't think you can buy that version of this car. It's a cop car. Come on. No, I didn't stick around to watch it get towed because I didn't want to be one of the guys getting hit over the head with a club because somebody touched the cop car. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, prime example of one is that how to check your ball joints on that old car. It hit the gate and it stayed there for about 4 hours with about 100 views. And one guy in there said, "Well, it's because nobody ever works on this old junk no more." After he said that, it hit 1,300 within minutes after he did that. Now it's just slow rolling again, and I'm just waiting, and it'll hit again.
I don't know what it is. For me, the shorts either tend to take right off or they don't. But lately, now they're starting to, like the next day it'll double or something. I just don't know. I'm engineering. I'm statistics. It's like I'm looking for a pattern because that's what I did for a living, and I'm not. It's like somebody is just running the machine. There's randomly. Yeah. It's just some guy in the background. Just woo. What are we doing today? What are we doing today? It's like a kid with a pixie stick. This doesn't
But they do help your channel. It's good to throw a couple of shorts out, even if you don't like doing them, you don't like watching them. 1 or 2 shorts a week, if you just don't like to do them, will help you.
No, I'm doing 2 a day right now. Yeah, at least 2 build videos a week, and I'm this close to getting 4,000 watch hours, but I've only got about 640 subscribers, so I need them. I just want to cross 1,000. At that point, I don't care. I just want it to be over with. I don't want to think about it anymore. Well, no, I like the 500 was important and 1,000 is important, but I'm not expecting anything. You know, I don't want to get that check for 50 cents. I just want that part over. That's all. I just want it over.
I leave the dome light on for you. The door's wide open.
I walked in. Your brother walked in. Come on, what are you doing?
Oh.
You're just secretly over there hitting delete.
You're just teasing us.
Yeah.
No, seriously, man. That video you put out today, that premiere, spot on, man. That was grade A good stuff.
That's cool. I'm too behind in his stuff, and I keep trying to watch everybody's stuff that is as often as humanly possible. I'm just between working on the car and editing. I just don't see that any time anymore. And apparently I have a live stream to watch that no one knew existed. So
I made that mistake on StreamYard. Got it all set up. I had a lot of people in here and everything, but you can't see any comments. All the comments go away. You can't make comments or type anything in. It was weird. And that's if you put your StreamYard on private. Yeah, don't make that mistake. That was a rough week.
I think I made every mistake possible with my live stream, my first one Wednesday. I couldn't get it to activate, couldn't get it to go on. There were like 15 people talking, and I can't do anything. It's 10 minutes of just dead air. And then I finally got my phone and was able to get on my phone through YouTube and just had to ditch StreamYard, and it worked. It went well after that, but I was totally off track. I was like, oh, what the hell? Then I went and like I said, I did one tonight, got it set up, and I thought I put it to private and like offline because I just wanted to make sure I'd done it right. And I'm talking to myself for a minute or two, and I see, hey, what's going on? I'm like, oh hell. 7 people watched it, and it was like 10 minutes notice, and there was 4 people commenting. It's like, oh, for God's sakes, what am I doing?
You hung in there though. You were still swinging.
I'm thankful. A couple of friends and No Name National guys and Pickle with Pickle. If you haven't checked out his stuff yet, he's getting up there. He's up in Newfoundland, and he's 18. He's just fresh off the boat, as it were, and he's looking for all this new stuff, and he's excited. And he's fun to hang out with and watch on this stuff. Yeah, his first one there is like, what's going on? I'm like, oh God, no, I'm trying to make sure I don't screw this up again. Yeah, he's in like a black hole of internet land. Oh, whirling wheel of death. Just hit the delete button. Just go ahead and hit it. Oh,
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Here it comes.
Magic.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Kick the door. Kick the door. Come on. Come on. Come on.
come on.
Pull the choke. Pump it. Oh, don't pump it that many times. Just.
It's
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. There.
Oh, hey.
There. See?
Yeah. Is he frozen?
He's froze, but he's there.
Yeah, see, this is what happens when you don't change your oil, Dan. This is what happens, okay? This is karma.
This is what happened last time. Oh, man.
Yeah. He was just frozen like for a second last time. So he must have the world's worst internet. He never has any trouble getting on ours because we do that like that one I mentioned every 2 weeks, and they do one like I think once a week, and his brother does some, and they never seem to have too much trouble with that.
I wonder why it's on mine.
I don't know.
Take it on me.
Maybe he hits his bandwidth limit or something, and it. I don't know.
Well, he's in an apartment complex. Maybe he's catching it right at the time everybody's online or something.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant by bandwidth. Maybe he's just that's when everybody's on. Because oh god, it's midnight here. It's 11 there, and your Mountain Time then.
Yeah. It's coming on 10 o'clock. 3 more minutes.
Yeah, I think I'll kick myself out of here at midnight for me. Got to finish editing the video.
I said I was going to shut it down 26 minutes ago.
Hey.
But dadgum, I wanted to see New Guy's Garage on here. Look, got his brother on.
That's why I was waiting. You normally get, if you get one, you get the other. They go in pairs. I got to finish editing the video and then get ready to go to bed. We'll swap meet tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
Strictly off the phone.
Yeah, I think he does everything off his phone. Edits video, shoots video. I don't think he has a computer, if I remember correctly.
It don't like me. I don't know why.
Just too much awesomeness for one stream, I guess.
I'm not a troll. I swear I ain't no troll. I only fish under the bridge. I don't live there.
No. I'm in Michigan, and technically I'm under the bridge because I'm in the Lower Peninsula. So everyone under the bridge is technically a troll if you live in the UP. So.
Was acting up on his live stream too.
I'm not sure. Well, since apparently I never got a notification that was on, I have no idea. Excuse me.
I look forward to it, man.
Yeah, he's an entertaining guy. You need to have him sing the Puddle Man song. There's a lot of backstory with that thing. There's a lot of backstory with that thing. His brother Tom is certified to clean up dead people effectively, like crime scene cleanup. And apparently there was a guy in the area where they live, and he passed away. And the way that they found him was he started oozing out from underneath his door in his apartment. So he became Puddle Man, and there's a song about it, and there's stuff about it. It's growing. The legend of Puddle Man is growing.
And he actually had to do that?
It's part of his job. Yeah, Tom actually had to clean up what's left of the gentleman who unfortunately passed away. Yeah, I think he's one of the only guys in his crew that's certified for that specific type of cleaning.
back when I had my painting business, yeah, we had to go in on a couple of calls like that, but not that drastic. Guys like him had already been there and taken care of that part of it, but we'd have to go in and tear it all out, and then the sheetrockers would come in, and oh man, yeah, that's just oh.
Yeah. Okay. So Dan's saying that the studio version of Puddle Man will eventually come out. Jesus. It just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing.
Boy, there's a lot of musical talent on the No Names.
Yeah, and New Guys Garage or New Guys Guitar, Tom is actually starting a cross-channel song too, where he's done one. I think Mofo Driver's done another part, and I'm not sure who else is doing it. They're putting it from channel to channel to try to get people to add their take on that song or a piece of that song.
Just trying to be a hit for some reason.
Oh God.
He was in earlier. I don't know. I don't have a problem with BNR. I hope that he just comes off the wrong way. I really hope that. BNR, if you're still watching, hang in there,
Yeah,
man.
I don't. The whole thing is like I said, I try to just avoid all that crap. I just don't need it in my life. But the whole thing started strange, and then what Dan did in response to both guys was just be straightforward, and they just ran away. It was very weird. The whole thing is just I don't know enough about the backstory of any of it. Yeah, all right. You missed a lot of weirdness, Ari.
Good to see you got the old truck running there, Ari.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, last time I saw him, he was on a live stream, and the truck was in pieces.
And it turned out to be a simple-ish fix. Oh, I didn't know any of that. I missed that part.
That's what I was talking about. There's stuff that I don't know a lot about, and if even half of it's true, it's sad. It's actually sad to me. I feel bad for him. And Ari said something about No Name and drama. I haven't noticed a lot of it. Maybe I'm just too new to the whole thing, but this is, at least from what I've seen, everybody I've interacted with, it's 99% people having fun and treating each other like friends.
We had a couple last year kind of go a little sideways and get a little weird. But like you said, it's the 1% that does that. The 99% and 110% of everybody that was actually there, just great. Absolutely great.
You're always going to get somebody that's just doesn't quite fit with the rest of the group. That happens no matter what it is.
But I'm a rat rodder who takes his rat rod and parks it right next to the New Balance guy. I mean, right next to him. So I'm kind of used to a lot of this stuff.
I don't know how people are going to take it when I roll up in a 65 Rambler with cutout fenders and mud tires on it. It's going to be weird. I want it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to paint it in time, but I want it to have a older Baja car kind of feel, because that's sort of what it's going to look like. So don't know how far I'll get with that part of it, but that's where I'm going.
In fact, I think I'll try that. I got a picture here somewhere. Let's see. I think it's in here. I think I called it phone dump. I label them all phone dump. That way I know right where they're not at. Got a picture of the last car show we went to. Had a McLaren and a Lambo parked right next to us. And I was parked over there with Sir Rat. And Dad was in the Volkswagen and he parked right next to me because we tried to be together. I don't see it, but I'll find it for next time. Anyway, the crowd's coming by, and I'll tell you right now with 200% certainty, if you want a crowd, take a rat rod. You won't win all the trophies, but you'll have the crowd around you, and it's interactive, and people are asking you questions, and they're telling you stories that don't even relate to the truck. You know, that's a 51 Chevy on a 87 Ford one-ton chassis. But they'll tell you stories about the 51 Chevy that they grew up driving, and, you know, just total fun and total interaction. Those guys in those in that Lambo and that McLaren, they got all huffy and they got in their cars and left because they weren't getting none of the crowd. They would just come over and stop at us, at our group.
Yeah, well, when you spend that kind of money on a car, when you know your car is basically a house in terms of cash, you're gonna want people to pay attention to it. So
They paid more for it than I did for this house.
well, yeah, you know, I mean, I can't buy a new truck because I'm not willing to spend more on a new truck than I paid for my house. So
Exactly.
well, I think I need to cruise, my friend.
Yeah, I'm about, like I said, I'm over a half hour my limit.
I'm a bad influence. The last time I was on here with you and Tony, what was it, like almost 2 a.m. by the time we were done?
Oh Lord, yeah.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well,
That
it
was
was
a great
good
ride,
talking,
though,
man. The reason it goes so long is because we're having fun. So
Exactly.
no, I'm gonna let my goof troop here out, and I will see you soon. See you next week, and talk to you soon. Thanks, Ben.
No problem. Welcome anytime.
Bye, bud.
But remember, even though that clock right there don't move, John's paper, it moves every day. We got to get busy. So thanks everybody for coming out tonight. Ari, did I miss one from you? Poor guy is just working on the school buses, making sure I try to make the school safe. Yeah, like I said, I'm not privy to any of that. I'm sorry things went sour with all of that. Anyway, thanks all for coming out tonight. We'll do this again next week. Hopefully next week we'll be doing it from outside in the shop. Get everything squared away out there. In the meantime, get out there and get your metal hot. And we'll catch you all next week. And I do have a new video coming out. I just looked and it's finished processed and everything. I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to publish it at 10 o'clock my time. I have never done this before. I'm going to see how bad I can tank this video by releasing it at the wrong time. So, everybody, we'll catch you next week, and we'll catch you later. I already said keep the metal hot. You get it too hot, and yeah, bad things happen. We'll catch y'all later.